Hello. Hello and welcome to Wednesday Night Beat Chat. Uh, just now my tea's getting ready. So Tom was on last night, covered lots of things. And today was my first day in the yard. I was it rained what Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and then today I had plans. Hi Mike. Hi Roy. Uh, Today I thought, well, let's go up to the bee supply house and looked around there a little bit, and then the sun came out. Hi, Westcliff. There's Tom. Hey,
Let's see.
who else comes? Oh, Bundy too. Hey, Bundy. Tom, is it you? Hi, Bundy. Let's see some new faces tonight. I'm glad you're on, Tom. My tea's getting ready to be ready. Um, can you hear me? I can't hear
Yeah, I
you.
can hear you.
Oh, there you go. There you are. John, Westcliff, John. Okay. Hey, John. So today, I was going to take my mentee up to one of the bee supply places near us, Pennsylvania. Um, and then the sun came out. So the sun quite wasn't out yet. I thought, well, let me go down and check my 5 framers. I want to just see what's going on with those. So as I was doing that, I didn't light my smoker or anything. I just fast channel switch. Oh, were we on Tom's? Or where were we?
Well, I got on mine, but I saw you were on too, Nancy. So I just said,
Oh,
let everybody jump on Nancy's and I can join in.
oh, oh, gee. Oh, okay. We could have just stayed on yours.
And I want
So
to give you a
anyway,
heads
then
up, Nancy, before you
I
get
can't.
started.
Yeah.
We're getting a severe thunderstorms. We just had a huge 60, 70 mile per hour wind. Supposed to get some hail, a lot of
Oh,
lightning, and it's hitting like right now. It's just starting. So I might
oh
drop out.
crap.
If I do, that's why.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, prayers to you. Let's hope if you do drop out, you come on as soon as you can, so we don't worry. And anybody else
Yeah.
in that path? Is anybody else
Yeah,
in that
one.
path? Oh,
Um,
Pennsylvania. I don't. What town are you in, Pennsylvania? I don't think I know that. Oh, I might have it
he's
in my book,
in,
but
that's a little area that's Pennsylvania, Ohio, Kentucky, but I don't know. It's a little area, I know that. That's
oh,
Kurt.
we're Pencil. What town are you in? No one's gonna stalk you. Don't worry. We don't. We got too many people to stalk. But because he knew my little town of Harleysville over here, and I'm way over north of Philadelphia, so I just was on Tom's channel. My tea's getting ready. Hold on, give me 1 second. I didn't get that yet.
Yeah, it's an area. Okay. Yeah, yeah, Bundy. This is, yeah, well, now it's coming down. It's dark outside. It's like nighttime, dark, raining hard. I got my window. If I crack the window open, you probably hear the thunder.
Oh, I know what I wanted to talk about tonight.
It's
I
getting
wanted to
noisy.
talk about escape boards versus fume boards, but not yet. North of Hager, oh, north of he's over by me. north of Hagerstown, Maryland. Well, he's over on the east, well, more on the eastern side of the middle, I guess we could say. North of, hi, good enough. We're getting some crazy weather here, Kirk. So anyway, so then today when I was thinking, I was going to go pick her up and we're going to go up to the supply house, I thought, oh, let me check on this one 5-framer. I want to see if she requeened. And then I got into another one that was requeening and just kind of like, I'm still getting queen right from spring, it seems. So, and now it's summer solstice, so it's I'm killing two birds with one stone. And then I realized, you know what, the sun's out, and I need to start my smoker. So I called her and said, change of plans. This is beekeeping. Come on over. So she did. And I have a couple things I want to throw at you guys here in a minute. But so when I get a break, I'd like to go get an escape board and a fume board and talk about that a little bit. So I got a beautiful. We couldn't find her last. It was a 5-frame split we were doing. I put a queen cell in, put 2 queen cells in. They tore them down. So I said, well, then we got a queen. We looked through. It's only a 5-frame deep, and I'm not sure we had the 5-frame medium on yet. Couldn't find her. So I said, well, it's about the time that she'd be out getting mated. Maybe she's out getting mated. So sure enough, she was out getting mated because now this was, we were in Thursday. So we were 7 days ago. We were in, and we couldn't find her. They tore the cells down. We had given her 2 days. The cells were in there 2 days. Beautiful big cells ready to emerge. And we went in 2 days later and they were tore down. So I said, well, there's a queen in here. We could not find her anywhere. So we closed it back up. That was last Thursday. Today we went in and she is she's mated. She's laying. A couple days. The milky brood, big milky brood season right now with all the flow that's going on. So that was exciting. I clipped her and marked her, and then that'll be my mentee's first. She gets 3 colonies, and that'll be her first colony, is that one. And then I had a deep and a medium, then I put a double screen board and another deep on top with some cells. And looked at that. That was 7 days ago. Looked at that today, and it's a virgin. I didn't clip her, which is one of the things I do is I forget that it's a bird. I see her, I snatch her up, I clip her, and then I'm like, oh, but so she's running around, and I left 2 cells. I left her with 2 cells just to be conservative in case she don't come back, and they left her with 2 cells too. So, but she's real pretty. She's going to be a gorgeous queen. And then the next hive over, these are 3 next to each other in the backyard, in the back down the furthest section. And then the third one that happened to go queenless after my formic. I put formic on in April, not knowing spring wasn't coming. And so she requeened, and she's a pretty laying queen. She's mated and laying too. So that's a 3 for 3. So I'm thrilled about that. And then went to another section of the yard, a 5-framer, a split we had done. They had tore down the cells. I'm thinking, what? How could we made the split? How do we have a queen in here? Well, I took the original queen. Like a dope. She was on the frame I used to make the split with. Peabody, Ryan. So I know. So the mistakes I'm making with this mentee is just hysterical because she's learned. Like I said, you learn how not to beekeep from me too. So
right.
Well, here her blue mark is coming off. So it's just barely It's barely on. So we closed her back up, went to the original hive. Sure enough, swarm cells to beat the band, or supersedure cells to beat the band. So we cut most of those out, let them go, and then we'll double back to her. But beekeeping at its finest.
Homer's Peabody, Ryan. Hey, Nancy, what kind of scissors do you use when you clip those wings?
I can get it for you. It's called a cuticle scissors. I can go get it for you because it's the only scissors I've used. I've lost them. I've bought new ones. I get everybody else to buy them. Let me go get it. It's on my golf cart.
Well,
Let me
go
go get it quick.
text it to me.
Well, I'll share it with everybody. Let me go
Okay.
get them. And then because I want to get my fume board and my skateboard too. So hold on. I'm going to the
Okay.
garage.
Okay, well, she's doing that. That's one thing I wanted to ask. Drone layers, that's a bummer. They had two layered queens and one, yeah, yeah, laying worker bee hives. I got 15, 16 now, splits to check in about 2 weeks. Give them a couple weeks. Some of them's been almost a week. Some of them have just been 3 days today. All the splits. I just wanted to bring that up too. I've had queens now. I cut cells 9 days ago. It's been 9 days today. And queens are just emerging now out of cut cells that I cut 9 days ago. That's telling me that they actually capped that cell when it was just an egg or just a larvae. It's like that's like 9 days. That's 18 days. So that queen had to be just on the eighth, seventh, or eighth day when they capped that cell. Probably day 7 for her to emerge out yesterday. So I think they actually sometimes in swarm season cap cells a day or two early, just to so the any emerging queens out that emerged out 5, 6, 7 days ahead before that, um, don't go in there and destroy that cell. And if it's capped off, they don't know it's there. And they just keep it for emergency. But I don't know.
Okay. So I got my fume board, my skateboard. These are
So
the
what are
scissors
they
I use.
called?
So they have a curved uh see it's curved. I don't know if you can tell that, but it curves down a little bit. They're called cuticle scissors.
What is it? I
And
couldn't
they're
hear the thunder.
cuticle
Cuticle.
cuticle scissors. I'll you Google it, but they're very, and I put a tie on it so it's easier to manage, but it's called a cuticle, like your fingernails. You know,
Yeah.
cuticle. I guess that's what
Yep.
you're supposed to do with them. But I think it's what I had the first time I went to clip a queen. I think this is the scissors I came up to the house to get. I wanted the littlest scissors, and they work great. They're phenomenal.
That way you don't clip anything else either.
Right, and I put her in. I face her. Doesn't matter which way she's facing, but if you hold her just right, you can get up underneath that one wing and clip it. You know, a third, 2/3 maybe.
Okay.
So, but anyway, so that's the scissors, and then this here is my system, and I wanted to share this. So I'm kind of like Keith Spillman. I do not graft queens. I do splits. Oh, I was gonna say I didn't type anything. That's Tom. Okay. I don't graft queens. I let them requeen. Um, when I open my hives in the spring, it's a pretty high percentage that I'm going to have a marked queen and an unmarked queen. Um, so what I do is this year it's blue. In the early
Okay.
spring, I put a light blue, and now with summer solstice, I put a dark blue. So
Yeah,
this tells me how many flows. This tells me how many flows she's been through,
that's a great
right?
idea.
So I was telling my mentee this today. I clip one. Sometimes in the beginning, you'll get two wings, and that's okay. Once you get a little more experience, you'll be able to get underneath and just clip one. Doesn't matter. You're a Bundy, it doesn't matter how many, just as long as. So I was explaining this again to my mentee about how we're shifting to the dark blue. We were light blue and we're shifting, and she goes, oh, she goes, something about, well, I never heard of that before. And I said, well, yeah, because I don't know many people that do it. Like,
Yeah.
but that's how I know how many flows. We talk about, Tom, and I know this is a little stick in your craw. We talk about queens being 1 year, 2 year, and we really need to start talking about flows. Like she's a
Yes.
1 year flow, she's a 2 year, like, because who cares otherwise? Like, I want to know how many flows she's been through. So this tells me how many
Right.
flows, right?
Right.
For next year when I
Basically,
crack lids.
it separates the April queens into the June queens.
Yep. And whenever you want to draw that line, that's up to you. Like,
Or,
you'd want this to be before the flow and this to be after the flow. I mean,
right.
this year stinks because our flows now, like we had a little itty bitty one and now Philip. But anyway, that's something I wanted to share. So then the other thing too with the coloring of the queens is I'm taking white and yellow out of my sequence, um, because there's too many times the year that I have white and yellow pollen and I miss the queen. So I'm going to replace one of those, the white or the yellow, with purple. I can get a light purple and a dark purple. And then I think next year is white. So I'll probably go to purple next year. And then when yellow comes around, I don't, orange wouldn't really get me to where I want to be. So I'm not sure what other color, like I haven't thought that far, but I'm going to take white and yellow out because I don't like them. But yeah, so when I was down at the expo, Bob Binney had both of these for blue, and they had them for green, and they have them for, so red is
Really?
going to be pink. So red will be pink and red for red.
There you go.
So
So he's the one who had the light and the blue colors. His booth.
yeah, his booth had the light and the blue. It had light and dark of different colors. But
Okay.
I mean, I've been doing it now for uh let's see, last year was light green and dark green. So right now I have a light green queen in my yard. I have no dark queens, dark green queens. So that tells me that this is her second flow.
Right.
Um but technically she'd be a 1 year, right, Tom?
Right.
She'd be
Right.
a 1 year, but she's got two flows. And what happens
Right.
after the second flow? They go downhill terribly, right?
Yes.
So red, I did it. Red, what happened? I think that's the first year I did it because I had a pink pen. And I like pink. So I marked a pink.
Yeah.
And then I got to thinking, well, shit, we're going into summer solstice queens. I better get myself a red pen. So that I had pink and red, you know.
Right.
But
Right. Yeah, I'm going to be getting two sets. for sure.
Well, Philip, Smarty Pants Philip, who was actually hysterical the other night, by the way, he was saying some funny stuff. The queen is the larger bee with the clipped wings. uh,
Yeah, that's a pretty sad old man's joke.
yeah, yeah. Come on, Philip. You can do better than that. We know you can. So let's go back to Ryan here. Had two drone laying queens and one. Wow, wow. Like, took care of it. So that tells. Why did that happen? I mean, I know
He's
why.
got old queens.
You got too many hives. Because to
Too
get a
many
drone
hives.
layer, to
We're
get a
too
drone
busy.
layer, that's a long time. That's got to be 4 weeks,
3 to 4
right?
weeks. Yeah, 3 weeks.
Three, three plus a week to split hairs on. Two
Yeah,
drone layers and one working. So what did you do to fix it? Tell us what you did to fix it. Because I know what the book says, but I want to know what we do, what real beekeepers do. Two drone layer queens and one more drone layers. Huh. Wonder how old she was.
that's what
Or if
I
she
was
was just
wondering.
miss or if she would just miss and one working layer. Well, yeah, you probably weren't queen right. Yeah, and
Um,
you're having the same weather we are, so your working layer probably hadn't been queen right
in a month.
before.
Now that two drone layer queens, that's telling me that he had cap brood too. Then, but a lot of drone. That tells me that that queen is failing. If that's the case, because he
Failed.
separated drone layer versus laying worker.
Yeah. Yeah. Two drone layer. Okay. So that's a failing. So the drone layers are failing queens, and the laying worker is no queen.
There's no queen. That's what I would think from his comment. That it had him three frames of two, 2 or 3 frames of drones and just a little bit of laying worker. I mean, a regular brood.
So the drone layer queens, they need to go. And why didn't they? I wonder why they didn't take care of themselves. Like, huh?
Yeah, but like
You'd
good
think they.
enough be mentioned. It could be a super strong hive because I have some hives that's got 2 to 3 frames of drone brood in them, but they also got 6 frames of regular brood in them. Drone brood and cap
Well,
brood.
yeah. Well, right. So
Well, I wouldn't call it a drone layer. I just call it a super good hive.
yeah. Yeah, well, right. So drone layer, queen, right. So you want 20 to 30%, up to 40%. Like if it's, this time of year, you could go up to
Yeah,
40%, but
right.
you don't want to go much over that. And then so all of so this drone layer, he needs to just put cells in that. And then the or virgins will take care of that
Yeah,
drone layer, and then the worker layer, he just adds that to a strong hive. You don't shake them out or nothing like that. You just add them to a good, put them on top.
yeah. Probably a pretty small hive. Laying
Yeah, I'm
worker.
curious to hear how he took care of them. Oh, so then that leads me to something we saw here at the end. I couldn't get into it anymore today, the colony, but it's one of my biggest, strongest colonies. I'm forcing her into double deeps and a medium this year. She had a medium and a No, she was always a double deep. Sorry. She came out of winter double deep. So we looked at the front porch there. We're watching that a little bit, and it's all drones. All drones coming in and out.
Hmm.
So I'm curious to see if it was a comet, if they came back with the virgin. Because so I had done, okay, so that's one of the colonies I did formic on and lost all the queens. 100% failure this year. It's not the formic, it was the weather. It was
Uh,
like I was doing formic in February. It was a disaster. Um, so one of two things is happening: either it's a drone layer, or they followed the virgin back. So
Good
I'll
news
be,
is I survived the storm. It looks like it.
oh, good, good, good.
Went through.
So yeah, so I'm curious. Tomorrow I might be able to get in and tear that apart a little bit, to see what's. It's two deeps, a medium, and then supers on it.
Yeah, check to
But
see if she's a weak queen or what's going on.
well, they requeened. They requeened from Formic. I, I'm sure I lost a queen in uh that Formic. I'm sure of
Yeah,
it.
but it still might have been too early and she didn't get mated well. Possible. Since it was February and this weather stayed cold all the way till now.
Yeah,
Other than that,
right now I've done some requeening. I've done some splits and whatnot since I knew about the Formic failure. And again, it wasn't the Formic. It was I did it at the wrong time. But
right.
so she, yeah, so something's going on in there. I'll have to tear it apart and tell you later what I found.
Yeah, I got one swarm that I went into it. Actually, I had a virgin queen in my cage, and I sat it right next to the hive, and I opened it up, and I was going to steal a couple frames of brood from them, and I did. I actually did that. Took 2 frames out, put them in another box that was sitting right there, and I was going to put the queen in it. Well, I got done doing that. I went to grab the queen. She wasn't there. The lid came off.
Oh no.
So I went
Oh
back.
no.
I went, but I went through every frame of that hive, and I never found the original queen. So it's like, what? And there wasn't a whole lot of brood, but there was enough that I took 2 frames from. But there were still like 2 more frames. But it should have been bigger. And I went through the whole hive again, took every frame out, and even looked around the sides and all that. I couldn't find a virgin or a mated queen in that hive. And
Huh.
so I went and put it all back together, and it's been now 2 days. I'll give them a week and check on
Yeah.
them again. Yeah.
Yeah, virgin queen, I mean, mated queens I know go back to their original hive fast, but a virgin, I don't know what she,
Well, they'll come back too. Sometimes not right away. It might take 20 minutes.
yeah.
And I
So
left it
you,
open probably 15 minutes.
okay.
And I said, well, she
Yeah,
flew in there. She'll kill the, well, who knows what will happen. The bees
right.
might kill the virgin or the virgin might kill the maiden.
Yeah. It's all kinds of carrying on going on there, huh?
So I don't know what that hive is doing. It's a wild card. It's one of my resource hives. So I don't. It's
Yeah,
not high on my list.
a fun hive, a fun colony.
Yeah, like I didn't have her marked because it was a swarm, and it had a queen when I caught the swarm. I knew that. So I was like, well, I can't find her. She's a dark queen, but it's like still.
Yeah. We did well, the one split we had done a week ago had the original ended up with the original queen. Told you that one. And then we did another. Oh, so when I took that original queen out, when I misplaced her and put her in with split, they pulled a whole bunch of emergency cells. So I took all those off, but I left two of them on one of the frames. I took that frame over to another 5 frame that's been mated, and it's just getting too big. I was getting ready to put it into an 8 frame. But then I thought, well, let's split that up into two 5 framers. See what
There
happens
you go.
there. I had enough B, like, so I took the original five. It was 2 mediums and a deep. That was a drone layer 2 months ago, and I moved that, and then I put my split on that location,
Right,
so I can get all that, workforce.
right.
So hope that works.
Yeah. Well, I got
It's
I
like
got
spring down
15. I got 16 splits to check in the next 3 weeks, plus one hive,
there.
plus pool honey. I think
Yeah, they're
the uh,
migrating.
I think the basswood trees are blooming around my area now because all the bees are flying that way, where all the basswood trees are. I haven't
That Linden?
physically
Is that the
confirmed
same
it.
as Linden?
What's that?
Is that the same as Linden?
Yeah,
Bass?
that's the linden tree. Yeah, linden basswood tree.
Okay, because I got a big one. My neighbor has a monster. It's like 40 years old. It's huge. It seems like it's as big as my house. And
Yeah.
they're hitting that. There's thousands of bees on it. So
It's besides the chestnut tree that don't hardly exist anymore. The basswood tree is probably the next biggest tree because it's not the tallest tree. It's just the most massive tree.
yeah, it's got a huge crown. Like,
Huge, yeah, huge canopy. They
yeah.
say two basswood trees can shade a whole acre of land. They get that big when they're full grown.
Well, this one they have up there, their house is bigger than mine, but that if that were to sit in front of my house, it would cover my house. And I just have a little 2 story, like it was just the original footprint. Everybody else built on, as their
Right.
families grew. And these folks didn't, which was perfect for me and my husband because, we don't have kids and all that. So hi Keith.
Hey, Keith. Yeah, my brother's farm out in Indiana, he's got a basswood tree that's probably pushing 8 feet in diameter. It's huge, huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's huge. The
Oh.
biggest tree in his woods. He's got old woods.
So Keith, the reason I thought about um talking about was because of Keith. The reason I thought about talking about um skateboards and fume boards. I drove over this with my golf cart. Talking about fume boards versus skateboards and how I use both of them. Um, but I don't know if we want to do that now or not. But I wish Keith
Yeah,
would.
go, might as well. I mean, most people have already pulled or will be pulling honey or still pulling honey. I think Keith is finished, and I basically hasn't started.
Yeah, I haven't. I haven't. So Keith is Keith done? I
I
thought he
think
was
he
going to pull
said.
another.
I think I watched the video a few days
Uh,
ago saying he's about winding up. He
okay.
started pulling honey, I think, back in March.
Oh my gosh, yes. Oh, what's he say? Nope. Pulled 23 supers yesterday. Yes, he's not done yet. He's got to put
Well,
those
he's
wet
not
ones.
done
Let me
yet.
go. He's not done yet. He's going to put those 23 wets back on and pull half of that again.
Yeah, it's amazing how much honey you get, Keith. Oh man, all right. Let me put that up there, Kurt, so she can read that when
All
she gets
right,
back.
I'm coming. So,
Hey Nancy,
you know
there's a
how
comment you want to look read.
talked about pink clover, if it looks like red clover, but pinkish purple, it probably is that ground cover plant Penn State created. Doesn't do anything for the bees. So, you're talking about crown vetch. Pennsylvania, you talking about crown vetch? Yeah, mine don't work crown vetch at all. Um, but I have a pink clover. It's rare. It's rare that I see the pink, and it's little. And then I have crimson clover, which is the red, the tall red clover.
Yeah,
My ladies are crazy. Fifth pull. Jeez. Yeah, Pennsylvania. I think. Are you talking about crown vetch? It's a pinkish purple. It's pretty, and it gets real. It'll crawl over everything and anything you have.
I use mostly fume boards. I have one
Pinkish
escape board, but I don't
clover.
use it.
The pinkish Dutch. So yeah, we have a well, it's white Dutch. Yeah, okay, white Dutch clover, and every once in a while you'll see one that's a little pinkish color, not a whole
Yeah,
bunch.
that
And
could
then
be
I
the.
discovered I have yellow clover, which I didn't even know existed. Till half my front yard is yellow clover, and I never planted it. It's
That
beautiful.
is the best bees. That's the number one clover that bees like. They love that yellow
Yeah.
clover, but it doesn't grow in patches like other clovers.
My half my front yard is probably 80 by 40, just the front there, and half of that is yellow.
Okay.
But oh, so this Keith, watching Keith Spielman's video about his escape boards made me think of this. So I don't know if you can see this, but there's an arrow. I put that arrow on a long time ago. I should probably redo it. That tells me which way the bees are going. So when I have this on a colony,
Right.
I know which way I want my bees to go. I can tell by looking at them.
Right.
Hi, collector. So what I see Keith doing is Keith Spielman and lots of people is they go and they pick up their supers. They put this escape board on. The bees are going to go down, cover that brood, and then they go back and they take their supers off. Well, there's no way in hell I'm going to do that because I
Right.
can't. So I had bought escape boards thinking that's what I was going to do my first year. I was quickly reminded how old I am, and that wasn't going to happen. So I do use
Why I
this.
use fume boards. I'm not picking
I
those
do.
supers up and put them right back on just to put a board in there.
Hell no. So I squirt this with whatever I have. Like this year, I don't know. I get all three different kinds. Whatever Fishers. There was a Wrangler. I remember there was a Wrangler something, and then there was another one. I think it smells good. I like it. It's an almond smelly smell. It's not offensive
Yeah.
at all to me. But anyway, so I have two of these. And my colonies are in full sun. Most of them. I have some Russian olive that's grown up now, and I'm gonna have to move those. But so I use this escape board and I spray it and I put on one, I put it on another one, I check a third hot colony, I go back because I don't use smoke when I'm extracting.
I don't either.
But I go back to the first one, I take this off, I pull that super, look through it, whatever I need to do. And then and a brush. I do use a brush, but this pushes them down. This is not offensive. I mean, they don't like it, but they don't get nasty about it. They just
Right.
hightail it down through. Keith is talking here. And then the other thing is I use this for inspections. So say my supers are gone, right? Supers are over, they're off. And now I've got crazy hives, 70,000, 80,000 strong. I use this to push them out of the box. I want them to be out. You can push them all the way down to box number 1 that's on the bottom board. Other than that, you're not going to get, they're not going anywhere. But I can push them
Right.
all the way down. So I use this for a basic inspection in after the supers are off. Let's see
That's
what.
what I do. I got 5 of them, and I'll put the spray in all 5 of them, and then put those on, and then I just work down the line.
Yeah, I have
And
2, and I rotate them. Yes, Steve,
yeah,
Keith. Yeah. So what Keith says here, yes. So he does a lot of assorting and organizing as he's putting those. Yes.
right,
Yep.
right. But it's a lot of work, a lot
Yeah,
more work.
skateboards, man. Oh, so then what I use my skateboards for is say I pull, I don't know, 6, 10 supers. I put them out on my I put the bottom one is going to be on a like a stainless steel type of box. It fits real tight to my supers. Fits real tight. Nothing coming in and out of that. And then I take my escape board, and it'll work probably on 4 if you get a stack of 4. And then I put my arrow up,
Gotcha.
and then overnight, the rest of that day, the next day, whatever,
Yeah,
the rest of them are coming out. That's how I use the skateboards.
that's a good idea.
But yeah,
Use it that way to get the last few bees out.
yeah, because they're gonna come up. They're gonna come up to the light here,
Right,
and they're gonna come out. So, and I've seen bees go back in skateboards. They go right in and go right down in if it's dirt if it's dry enough, there's no food. They'll go right in here.
yeah.
They ain't no dummies. But anyway, that was a little bit about how we use the skateboards and fume boards and what suits you. I'm not trying to talk anybody into doing anything different, but it's whatever suits you
Right,
and whatever you can manage.
right. I only want to lift my supers and my honey supers, my honey deeps 2 times. Once off the hive, and then one time maybe when I'm extracting it, but really only one time
Right.
when
And
it's
I
full.
I take frames. I push them all out, and then I take the frames, and then so say I have, 7 frames of honey in there, I can pull the box, but I'd prefer to take 3 or 4 out and then pull the rest, but I have to lift it onto my cracker for extraction. I do have
Right,
to lift a full super, and that is the only time I don't know, I have to do it other times too, but I'm not happy about it.
right. And I usually move my boxes right next to my uncapper. So I'll pick them up twice. Once off the hive and once in my honey room. That's it. I don't need
Last
to pick
year
them up anymore.
last year was the first year that I really picked up full supers off my colonies. I'm usually pulling like I don't know, I'm usually pulling comb or I don't know, but last year it seemed like I had more full supers than any other year. So I was taking them straight. And it's 7 because I run 8 and then I do 7.
Right, right.
So
And I run nine frames in my 10.
yeah, I'm cheating there. Another 6 pounds I don't have to lift.
Right. Well, it's easy to uncap them when you got one less frame because they build them out a little bit farther.
Oh, collector, please don't tell me you're using an air gun. Please don't tell me you're blowing their little insides out.
It doesn't hurt them.
Yeah, good enough. I run 8 frames, so for a 5 to an 8 really isn't, oh, well, and 7, so 5 to a 7 is really, I just
Right.
air gun. What's he mean? Like what? That's not a, I know they do leaf blowers, which is god awful. You might as well just kill them, right? I mean, an
Yeah,
air gun,
a leaf blower won't kill the bees unless you got it blasting full speed.
air gun.
It probably means a blower, air blower.
Yeah, I know the new air gun. I don't know. I gotta learn more about that. Oh, I watched Fred use it. Well, yeah, I watched Fred use about everything. Hey, bees all day. I thought you weren't coming on.
Hey, Bill, peas all
Yeah,
day.
I watched Fred religiously every every week for 4 years, I think it was. My husband had come down on a Saturday morning and he'd go, "Oh, that guy again." And then I just stopped.
Yeah, the leaf blower doesn't hurt the bees, but something strong
Eh,
like air gun might.
Darren, come on, Nancy. Come on, Darren. The leaf blower is harmless. So many worse things. Like what? Give me another worse thing. First Wednesday night with no farm work. Oh, cool. Nice to have you, Bill. So, Darren, tell me many other worse things, like running out of peanut butter, getting a flat tire.
Ah, now the sun is coming. It's clear now.
Clipping
That's cool.
wings? What's wrong with clipping wings?
Yeah,
You want to
clipping
shake
wings
them
is
out
a
of trees? He wants to shake them out of trees. Darren's feisty here. He wants to shake bees out of trees. Running out of gas in the blower. Ah,
Nancy, I know
well,
one thing
Bill.
is worse. Some people shake the heck out of packaged bees and shake the heck off of frames.
Oh, hanging.
Rip their stomachs up. Yeah, there's a line of storms cutting through Pennsylvania too. Not
I
real
know
big
it's
ones.
worse. I watched the guy the other day. I don't know who it was. I watched a guy the other day take his inner cover, take his outer cover off, take his inner cover off, look at the bees, turn around, bang it on the boxes, and set it to the side. I thought, well, good Lord. Why you ain't gotta be keeping a skirt long doing that?
Yeah, that'll get them mad.
No, you regurgitate. That's not good. Sugar roll, definitely. Oh, yeah, that's awful. Who does sugar
Yeah.
rolls? This is advanced bee chat, Darren. Running out of kitchen. Oh, right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Sugar
Really hurt
rolling,
to shake packages. No.
cups
Oh,
exploding. Yeah, who's the
what do you do all
boss?
the time? What are you doing all the time? Still taught in Virginia. Oh my gosh. You just set the package. You There's so many ways to and I did packages this year for the first time in 8 years, but I mean, I just set it on top, put an empty deep,
Yeah,
and walked away from it.
put the queen down in the bottom of the box, turn it upside down, put it on top
Yep,
of the frames,
yep.
put a box
Uh,
on it, close the lid, come back the next day, remove the box and,
yes.
and the and the package. No shaking the
I had a
bees.
mentee this year, so I was glad I was able to show her that. No banging. Bang the inner cover. Oh, come on. You do not good enough.
I don't use it. I don't use an inner cover. So I use that the bubble wrap, and I just set it off to the side.
I'm getting rid of my inner covers, I think.
Well, I
I
like
really
it.
like to
A
get.
lot of times, Nancy, I'll just pull that back a third of the way, and I can see the frames, and I can pretty much look down the frames and close it back up, saying, "Okay, it's growing, looks good. A lot more bees this week than 3 weeks ago, a month ago."
Yeah, what's
That's
worse
probably
than a
what.
blower, Bill? Banging the inner cover. Oh, good enough. Come on here and tell me you please don't do that before you do an inspection. You don't bang your inner cover before you do an inspection, right? Please tell me you don't. Oh, after the sugar roll, all of them. My guess is all of them because they can't breathe. They suffocate them. Why not bang the inner cover? Because why? I mean, why would you want your bees to become that first step of defense? Like, oh shit, what's going on up there? Why would you bang your inner cover? Just set it to the side.
Yeah,
You want to bang it at the
maybe
end.
that's why I don't have to wear a suit. I don't bang my inner cover. I don't. I try not to bang anything when I'm working bees.
I don't wear right. I don't wear gloves. I don't wear a suit. Yeah, the sugar roll, I'm pretty sure I stopped doing that way back, but I was taught that's the way I was taught. Um but yeah,
Yeah.
all of them are going to die because your stuff they breathe out of their abdomens. They're covered in sugar. Like that's got to be the worst. If you're gonna do a mite count, might as well just kill them right off with the oh excuse me with the alcohol. 1991. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So good enough. I bet you if you stop banging your colonies, you could work you have a lot nicer bees if you seriously do bang them before the inspection.
I'm wearing shorts and t-shirts when I work my hives.
Yeah.
At worst I put a veil on and that's it. And
Mm.
half the time I don't even use the smoker anymore.
I can go veilless. Yeah, I haven't. I don't. I didn't use a smoke. Well, I did a lot today without a smoker, and then our fuel was wet anyway. Can you imagine how calm they would be if you wouldn't smack them around before you're in them?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess everyone knows Man Lake was sold. Oh, well, they said they were closing. Who goes to Man Lake anymore?
Who bought Man Lake? That could be a good
Oh,
thing.
Cornell. Cornell just advocates sugar roll. You got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
A homesteading group or a group of homesteaders. They don't have no money. How could they buy?
They won the lottery.
Yeah, 70%. Phillips is 70%. I don't know. You guys are all reading this. You don't need me to, but 70%. Oh, for sure. I mean, I would.
Coalition of Families. Well, that happened actually back in March.
Yeah, I started using syrup in spring. I started using syrup, sugar syrup. I spray them with sugar syrup. It just stops them. They just freeze. But what happened with that is I kept clogging the sprayer. I need to find a good sprayer.
Yeah.
I pulled it out of their mattress. Homesteaders. Well, I mean, there's a couple people I think pretty much. I mean, Man Lake ruined themselves, but pretty much they
Yeah.
went chickens. They went chickens right before COVID, right? They got into chickens.
Yeah. And then they really messed up on their pack packages couple of years ago. Their syrup. They did something different. How they
Oh
used the
yeah.
syrup and it leaked into the queens and killed all the queens.
But yeah, but didn't they put in like a spongy green, like
Yeah,
like a spongy green something or other that was supposed to uh something with extend the syrup or do something with the syrup or something like that,
yeah, something
and it
goofy.
ended up being a disaster.
Yeah, I wonder how many lawsuits they had there.
Well, yeah, they probably just yeah, it's just in your own like I mean, you got to buy packages from them. You pretty much it's your own risk,
Yeah,
I guess.
yeah, but they're probably all new beekeepers because most people wouldn't be buying packages from Man Lake.
No, right. They don't even know that they can sue. Yeah. So yeah, now what is gonna happen with Man Lake? Like, I wonder if they're gonna drop the chickens and go back to being beekeepers.
Yeah, maybe they're spinning Kelly's back off, and somebody can buy Kelly's, get that place rocking again. That was a
Bushy
great
Bushy
place.
Mountain. Brushy Mountain. What was it? Bushy Mountain or Bush Mountain or something. They bought Man Lake bought. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I am too. I haven't bought anything from Dedant or Man Lake in at least 5 years.
Brushy Mountain. Yep. Um keeping the bee no, they are keeping the beekeeping. Yeah, but are they getting rid of the chickens? That's what I was wondering. Um so Darren, aren't you out there by Carlisle? Like why aren't you going to Miller's? Or maybe you are.
Hey,
Hi Dennis.
Dennis.
Maybe is Darren going to Miller's? Where Bill go? Bill goes up. Where do you go, Bill? Up to Carlisle or something? Oh, your state college. Oh, there's Bill. Here he comes.
Hey, Bill.
Hey,
Might as well just talk and get rid of your fingers.
yeah, really.
Welcome, welcome to the B team.
I love the name of it.
Huh?
Can you
Yeah,
hear me?
Nancy. Yeah,
Okay.
Oh, let me go see if I can mess with this mic. Been learning
Yeah, I
how to do
started
that.
as a Dant dealer when I started.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then
This year I went with Bill. Most of my
quality went so
friends.
far downhill with the Dant that it just nobody was buying it. That and the prices were
Right.
too high. So
Oh, Bill and Martin's. Yeah, Martin's.
yeah,
That's where you go, Bill. Or
yeah,
wait,
that's where I
no,
go
you go to
to.
Miller's.
No, I
Miller.
go to Martin's. That's where my woodenware comes from is Martin's.
Martin's. Okay, there you
Okay.
go. We have a Amish guy, Forest Hill, which
Hmm.
has dealers up through New York and Northeast, and um, all their woodwork, all my woodenware came from them.
Yep. So Martin's is going to have Pro Sweep from now on as well.
Are they plain? Are they Mennonite
Yeah.
plain?
No,
Were they? Do you remember?
they're old
I
order.
think I think I got a bunch of frames from them. Uh, would have been 2 years ago. They were back in the back corner of the expo. They do a big, like they
Nope, it
do
wasn't
two or
him. It
three.
wasn't Martin's. He
No?
doesn't sell at the expo.
Oh,
It's
well, then
probably Beeline. You're
It
talking
was
about Beeline, Nancy?
either
maybe
Beeline or Miller's.
they're plain and they were in the back and they have a big. I mean, they bring a lot. stuff.
Yeah,
I got
that's beeline.
Yeah.
beeline.
Yep.
I don't remember. I just wheel and deal and try to get the best deal, and then I don't remember who I dealt with, till
Yep.
years later. I don't remember.
Yep.
I think I bought 250 of Acorns plastic foundation frames from Bill.
Yep. I think you did. Believe it was 250.
Yeah,
How are they doing
and a
for you?
couple, and a couple. I think they're great. Bees love. It's funny. I can just put them out in the yard, and bees will start flying on them.
Yep.
Something about that wax. They really likes that wax that's on there.
Okay, Roy. Yeah. Beeline is in okay. Yeah, they bring in a whole bunch of them. They were bringing in semis, I think before semis were fashionable for the expo. Mark Beeline.
Yeah. He brought
Hi
in
folks.
two
Hi
last
Don.
year. He had two in there last year.
Yeah.
God,
2 semis.
Yep. And then he had a straight truck too that he brought in there. So
Did you see my little deal about the pens, Bill?
no. What are they?
So
Pink
for new
pens?
people, so what I started doing was, so today's blue, or this year's blue, right? So what
Yeah.
I do is my bees in the early spring get a light blue. My bees now at summer solstice after the flow get a dark
green.
blue.
That's a good way for you to keep track of it when you actually,
So now I have in next year in spring, if I find a light blue queen, I know she's been through a flow. If I
yeah,
find a dark blue queen, I know she hasn't been through a flow.
right. That's a good way to
You
keep
know what I
track of
mean?
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like the idea.
Yeah, because I know Tom gets caught in Tom's crawl when we talk about 1 year queen, 2 year queen, but we're not talking about flows.
No.
We're
Just talking
talking
about the
about
time of the year the queen was put in the
Yeah,
hive. Yeah. That's
so
a
if
good
I have
idea.
a blue queen, she could have been through this flow, and then if I find her this time next year, a blue without it being light or dark, I don't know how many flows she's been through. 2 flows makes her 2 year, whether
Yep.
she's 1.5 or not. Like, so anyway, I started doing that back a couple years ago.
That's a good idea. I've gotten away from the pastel colors. I'm using all neon colors so I can see them.
Well, I think, so I started the year it was red. I didn't have a red pen. I had a pink pen.
Yeah.
So I marked my early queens pink.
Yep.
And then I thought, well, I should mark my summer solstice red. So I know not to, I don't know, I was trying to keep my yard organized.
Right.
But so yeah, the green, like, so last year the green, the light one was like a neon. And then it was like a darker green.
Yeah.
so Bill, does the bees have any problems with the neon of trying to get it off the queen?
Nope.
No difference.
If they want it off, they're going to get it off.
No, that's true. I have a set of queens bees that do that. They're gone. I mark them, and a month later, it's got a little speck left on it.
Yeah, exactly. So if they want to pick it off, they can pick it off. I'll mark her again. That kind of
Right.
upsets them when I do that because then they get confused.
So that's the other thing there, Dot House. So I'm getting rid of white and yellow out of the color sequence. I'm going to go to purple. I'm going to use a light purple and a dark purple for the next, what is it? White is next. Will you raise good bees? Yeah, white is next. So I'm going to go to purple, light purple and a dark purple. And then I don't know what color I'm going to go to for orange or yellow. I can't do orange,
Why not?
right?
Do a neon orange and a neon yellow.
Yeah.
Yeah, something that's too close to pollen. You know, I don't want any pollen colors.
Yeah.
Uh,
We can't do brown or black.
why not? That makes it
Red.
interesting. That'll make it interesting, Nancy.
Why don't we just do maroon?
Well, we could.
Yeah, I don't know. Purple needs to come in, and then orange. But I guess you could. No, you can't do orange. You can't do
How about chartreuse?
chartreuse.
Yeah.
That's pink. That's
Yeah.
purple. Pinkish purple. Please raise. What are we doing here, Pennsylvania? What are we tearing down?
What are we raising?
Will you raise good raise? Red, right? What
Yeah.
am I saying it right?
Yeah, you're saying it right.
Will you raise good bees? So will was after blue, so that's gonna be purple. Will you and then yellow, so I gotta come up with something quick. Another year or two.
Put a number on them.
Please. Oh, purple. Please raise good bees.
Yeah.
Please. No, yellow. Well, please. We gotta please.
Purple,
Can
red,
no.
green, blue. Need
Yeah,
one more
good
color.
bees. So we got pink. We got purple. Sorry, you got purple. We got red. I do red and pink. You know what we could do? We could do a light red and a dark red. We could do a light pink and a dark pink. We can do pink.
Yeah, and then you can do a dark purple and a light purple.
Or you
We
could do
can
a purple and a pink.
Yeah. So Pennsylvania, what's okay? So please, please raise good bees.
They're just going to start the new standard.
Oh Lord.
Braille, if you're
Braille,
blind.
Braille if you're blind. So Braille numbers if you're blind. You're a blind
Good enough
beekeeper.
says you were everything. No, we're not overthinking it. You try to find a yellow or a white queen. That's what we do. We overthink things.
Yeah.
This is what we
Yeah.
do.
So I got out of the bee meeting tonight. I just didn't go.
Oh, I'm colored.
Gotcha.
I told the wife I was coming home. So
Yeah.
Yeah, colorblind people, it doesn't work.
yeah.
You got to come up with your own color scheme, but whatever you can see.
Shades of gray and white. There you go.
Some,
Gray,
yeah.
black, and white.
So yeah, is that wow? Wonder. So you'd have to take black and white pictures of your bees to see what they see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's why
Huh.
I would almost be willing to bet you that's why they started putting numbers on them.
Yeah.
White is great. I guess.
If it's a single digit number, it's a spring, and it's a double digit number, it's a summer.
It's a summer solstice queen. But then again, you got to look at how many hives you got.
No, because you'd only get up to 10, silly. No, you'd have to do 0 to 50 is beginning and 50 to 100 is after, or even higher than
Right.
that.
50 to
Colorblind is
99.
not black and gray. Okay.
Yeah, some people see some color, but different colors.
Yeah.
red might be a different color. Yeah,
Well, you got three of them. Three of them covered under the stoplight: red, green, and yellow. So if they know what colors they see when they see red, green, and yellow, there's three of them that are taken out.
right.
You only got to come up with the other two.
What? Hold on. Hold on. Some guy wants called a guy about deep frames. Guy that's going out of business. Deep frames. He finally got back to me. What were you saying about the stop sign color or the red lights, green light?
Red light is red, yellow, green.
Yeah.
Three colors of the queens, right? So if you get a colorblind person to tell you what color they see it red and what color they see it yellow and what color they see it green, that takes care of three of the five.
But I don't think they see color.
They
What do
do.
you see?
Yeah, they see.
What do you
They
see
can
good
see
enough?
some colors. It's just a different type of color.
You're right.
What do you see good enough when it's
A QR code. I don't know if you could actually scan it, Phil.
red light
Red
is
light is
orange.
orange.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you're not colorblind, you're just mixed up.
Colorblind's called that. I mean, they see slightly different shades,
You know, like your
different
Yeah.
shades.
colorblind test, you got the number 86 is green, and then around it is red, and then there's other colors scattered in with it.
Yeah.
So that's your colorblind
Right.
test. So
Yellow
yeah,
is yellow, green.
green is white.
Oh, green is white. Oh. So when you look outside, the trees and the grass is white. Interesting.
Right.
So yeah, so I think there's various degrees of color blindness. I think there's different colors they see, but then some are really no color. Wonder why. Wonder why that happens.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah, top to bottom, right to left. All right, Philip. Smarty pants.
Grass is green.
Grass is green. Green is white. Grass is green. Oh, the lights. Good heavens. We can talk about bees.
Yeah. Well, we are, and indirectly.
Red
Yeah.
and green are
I think my swarm season is over. I haven't had a call now in 3 weeks, so I think it's done. It's usually done at the end of May, so it's right on schedule.
I don't know. I've had 6 swarm calls this week so far. So somebody's getting a
Yeah,
lot.
I had 3 of mine last week, Bill, but they were mine, and it was stupid. Those Japanese lilac trees up on my road, up from me. It's a half mile from me. There's a whole row of them, and they brought in more pollen that I've ever seen. Orange pollen.
Really?
Some of the hives were pulling it as they were bringing it out. They were pouring it, taking it back out.
Really?
I actually videotaped. I'm going to post it here pretty soon. Yeah, bees were carrying pollen out of the hive.
Why is that?
Because there's
Too much.
3 of my hives swarmed with new queens in them because I do single brood management, and they had 3 frames of pollen, and they were putting pollen on every frame instead of the queen laying, and forced her into playing little pockets all over the place.
Yeah, they were backfilling it.
They
Open space.
backfilled it all with pollen.
Yeah.
And my couple of my good hives, I actually marked them out. They were pulling pollen out as they were bringing it in and dropping it right in front of the hive. So underneath my hive was all kinds of pollen, orange pollen.
Mm.
So
I don't know if they're dropping it on purpose. I've seen that too, but it was my entrance reducer that was fouled up.
No. I watched them carry it out. I got video of them actually carrying it out and on their front claws, mouth, carrying it out. Yeah.
Wow. Huh.
Yeah. Crazy.
That's interesting. I wonder. Yeah, because up here they talk about there's this pole line of queen that gets pollen bound. And I don't have pole lines, and I don't think I've ever had a pollen bound situation here. Honey bound or pollen bound.
I've had honey
Okay.
And we attributed
pollen
that. I
bound.
always think that's a queen issue. But taking
These were
it
my
back out.
three of my bigger hives. They were big swarms because they got too many frames out of my 9 frames that she could lay on. Because one frame's usually pollen. They took up 2 more frames, so she ran out of frames.
Now I thought they say they won't move pollen around. But then but they're carrying it out.
Yeah, they'll move
They
it
do
around.
move it around.
Yeah, just like they move wax around, they move honey around. They move it all around.
So we were talking earlier in one of these chats, well, I don't know how long time ago, but saying something about pollen, and they say, "Oh no, they don't move pollen around."
Yeah, they will. They'll move it. They'll
They
move it.
can. Yeah, here's the video I took.
We'll have to go to your channel for it because we can't. You can you can drop it on your
Yeah,
computer and show it.
yeah.
Well,
It's
yeah, if it's
crazy.
good enough, Honeybound she's running out of places to let, or that's yeah. I think that's a poor queen. I mean, they won't.
Actually, it was my best queens, my best hives. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
just
I think
crazy.
pollen bound and honey bound is a queen issue.
It
That's what
was
I've
two
always.
days. 2 days it happened on. They brought in so much pollen. And then the next week they swarmed. That's the only 3 swarms I had all year when that
That's
tree
good
hit.
enough. Won't they just cannibalize the eggs? That'd be a lot easier. They'd just cannibalize the eggs, right? That easier
During the
than
dirt,
to
they will.
do all that energy of moving honey and pollen and all that.
Yeah, they'll cannibalize the eggs during the dirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, or when they want her to swarm, slim her down. I don't think that I don't. You can't slim a spermafecal down. She's got it or she doesn't. She's slimming her down. I don't think I'd like to see some science behind slimming her down. I don't think I've seen some big queens in swarms.
Yeah,
And she's not slim, not nothing slim about her.
they just can't fly as far at one time.
Right. That's why they crash 20, 30 yards in front of your hives.
Yep.
And the younger, healthier queens fly 30 feet up in the tree. The older queens go about 5 feet up in the tree.
Eye level.
I think there's some truth behind that.
I think there is too, honestly.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're gonna have a strong. I mean, yeah, a younger queen is going to be stronger. I mean, she's not gonna have as much wear and tear.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the wings might be in better shape.
Yeah, my mentee's 29. She's gonna climb a lot higher on the tree than I am. So, Gary, yes, you're right. I say, come on. I said, what do I say? I said, come on, something. Pick up those. She picks up all the boxes and moves them around now. I'm like, this is sweet.
It must be nice to have an intern in the bee yard.
Yes. It's my first year of having one that can,
Wow.
yeah, it's nice.
I'll try to get one earlier next year, sooner in the year. I ended up with a college girl working in the store and had her in
Mhm.
hives a couple weeks ago, and she fell in love with it. So I told her, I said, "You come back next spring as soon as you get out of school," and I said, "We'll get you educated and get you in some beehives."
Yeah. Yeah, I'm mentoring a young man, and maybe next year I'll invite him over a few times, help me go through some hives.
Yeah.
Well, how are you teaching him beekeeping if he doesn't come to your house?
Right now, he only wanted to come on swarms and stuff like that to learn
Uh,
about swarms. He just bought his suit. He just now buying equipment this middle of spring. So I said, "Well, come on some
mine come.
swarms."
Oh, I
So
got you. So yeah, so right. I mean, that's a gig too. I mean, if you got that skill, but mine start coming in early April, and they don't get their bees until this one's not last year too. They're not getting their bees until after July,
right,
and then they have to come next year too to my hives, and I'll go to theirs, but they're only coming to mine because they're gonna do what I do, and then they're gonna go home and do it on their 2 or 3 hives or whatever. But
right.
yeah, I think they
I'm
should.
going to set. I'm going to set up one of my hives off to the side of the yard, and I said, "This is your hive to maintain. So when you come over, I'll show you what you have to do, and let him do it on his hive, and then eventually he'll be able to take that home
Yep.
once, like this time of year. That's what my game
Yeah,
plan
mine.
is.
I'm letting her. So we started doing. Well, I don't know. This they're just coming back queen right now. But so what was it? We were doing splits, getting the cells out, creating the 5 frames, and now the one is a laying. She's laying, so that'll be her first one, and then she's got 2 more that once they come up, you know.
Right. Well, we're going to start with a cell, a virgin, put it in a little 5 frame, and let it grow into a 10 frame, into a 10 frame or 8 frame, whatever he wants to get. That's my game plan.
Well, that's probably a good game plan.
So,
Yeah, I like them to be with me for almost a full year, season, I guess we'd say. Full
right.
season and all the way to winterizing. Like, so it's 2 years now that I get them through a grant. And so March, the first, when I start cracking lids in the beginning, they're with me. So they see what overwintering looks like.
Hey, Darren posted, I don't paint hives. I did my first year and I said, this is crazy.
Wax on, Darren. Yeah.
Yeah.
I paint my supers. I like color. I don't like the. I mean, I wax dipped. I do, but I like color. I like color down there in the winter. I like
You
color
see,
down there in the summer.
yeah, 2/3 now are wooden wax boil color, but a lot of my supers are white and green. Because the first
Mhm.
year I used white, the second year I used green, dark green.
Oh, speaking of color, anybody that paints their hives, is there anybody in this chat that does not have purple in their yard?
Now my current yard, my home yard, I don't have any purple, but my out yard I do. Well, actually, I
Yeah.
got a purple. I got a purple horizontal hive from
I
Ricky. I
haven't
do have
met, I
one.
haven't been in a yard Now I'm not take away all the wax dipped. Okay, so you wax dipped, you wax dipped. But anybody that paints, okay, Philip, I have never seen a yard without a purple hive.
All of
Wouldn't
my swarm traps are a light blue. Every one of them. And I catch,
Mine's either blue or dark blue or green.
yeah.
Good enough doesn't have purple. Oh yeah, good. So when they come to my yard, it's $75. Like, so I get these through a grant, so I'm already getting paid. But other people, like, it's $75 in my yard, and it's a 125 for me to go to your yard.
For what? To paint?
Hmm?
To paint? Because I was going to say, if you're going to travel around to people's yards to paint hives, I got a lot of them you can come paint.
No. And you paint your boxes upside down. You know that, right?
Yeah,
Put them upside down.
yeah. Or you can
Yeah, he's purple. No purple. Good enough. Of course you don't have purple good enough. Of course. I'm trying to bait you to come on. He bangs his boxes. He doesn't smoke. He can't see
I buy
colors.
the Oops paint from Lowe's or Home Depot.
Yeah.
So whatever color they got, that's what color they get painted.
Well, that's what I
That's
did,
why I
Bill, the
think
first couple of years. That's why I got white and dark green ones because that's what paint they had left over that I could buy for $6, $8 a gallon.
Yeah.
yeah, I buy Oops paint too, but I think maybe that's why I think purple is like the, I don't know, a very, very popular color, but I like my yard. I got pinks and oranges, and then say I'm running low on one, I'll add the low on another, and I'll put them together, and then I have a new color.
If I had my choice and I wanted to paint all my hives and I didn't care about spending $100 for a gallon of paint, they'd all be purple or blue.
It worked.
You baited him.
Oh, good enough. You're good enough. You are good enough. How do I make us bigger? Hold on. Where's the one that makes us bigger? No,
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 there you go. Right there.
that one. Oh, I have blue and yellow to irritate my Michigan State. Okay, Philip wants to know about this grant. So this grant is nothing you can get in Texas. This is Pennsylvania. But this company called Planet B Foundation goes and gets corporate donors. One of them is Giant Food Stores. Oh, good enough. They can't hear you again. Uh, Look at Darren being all funny tonight. He's taking over for Philip. So anyway, so this Planet B Foundation, this organization that gets corporate donorship, and then they partnered with Penn State. And I don't know how I saw them. I heard a blurb somewhere 2 years ago, 3 years ago now, I guess, and said about mentors, getting mentees, and this, that, and the other. So you got to find your own. And then we helped tailor, like, they did some silly things the first year, like they didn't give them any money to register their hives. They didn't give them any money for mite treatment, but they gave them a 2-frame extractor and a full suit. Like, so we worked with the people to get a little bit more, you know, what the mentee needs. Because I don't wear a suit, I don't wear gloves, and I treat my bees so that I don't have to do that kind of stuff. So they wanted to put the money, my mentees want to put it someplace else. They don't want a suit. They want to put it into mite treatments or a fume board or, stuff like that.
Clunker. Hive tools.
Yeah.
Yes, they gave them these. So for women, I guess, our hands are smaller and we don't wear gloves. So those traditional hive tools don't work for us. We have to have the ones with the wood, the most expensive ones. No, but
They're not
the ones with the wood in the center, because
that
Yeah.
bad.
I don't wear gloves.
Kurt's working on it.
Did good enough freeze?
No, he's
Oh
not.
no, good
Still
enough.
can't
Turn
hear
I
him.
don't hear him yet.
Hold on. Edit mic. I learned how to do this.
I turned it up all the way and I can't hear him.
You got to bring him into the chat, Nancy. Well, I
He
guess
is in
you
the
did.
chat.
Yeah, he is. Never mind.
Unmute. Is he muted? Oh, wait. Oh, he's muted. Hold on. Let me unmute him. What? Oh, no, he's unmuted. I don't know.
Yeah, he's unmuted.
Yeah.
The speaker's not working. Yeah. Yep. He's going to fix his issue.
Yeah.
So, Bill, you pull any honey yet?
I've got 6 boxes of honey sitting in the floor at the store. It's sitting on the cart at the store. I'm gonna extract it this weekend,
Okay.
and they're all weighing out pretty well. I'd say between 50 and 60 pounds.
Okay. I just pulled the 3 that swarmed on me the last 2 weeks,
Yeah,
week and a half. And I was getting about 40 pounds on each one.
that's not
But
bad.
our flows just now, just last week and this week, the last 2 weeks have been the best weeks.
Yep.
It's not raining so much.
Yeah, I've had a real good flow this year, and I'm kind of happy with the honey production they've done right now.
Okay. It's not been a real good year for my area and up through Ohio just because it's rained so much.
Yeah.
And the nectar just kept getting washed out.
Yeah, we got the locust here started, and they got a little bit of it, and then we had a real hard rain that washed it out. And I think the tulip poplar got washed out too around here. So
Yeah, same thing, Bill. And everything after that got washed out.
yep, we had 3 inches of rain the other night.
Yeah. Well, we just went through a storm, a pretty severe storm. I'll see in the news all the damage
Yeah,
in the neighborhood.
we had rain today. We got about a ½ inch today.
Yeah. But I see starting tomorrow, I got 7 days with no rain forecasted.
No way.
Yes.
Really? Who did you pay to get that forecast?
Yeah, right. I'm looking
and
now.
5 of them, it's going to be in the 90s.
So I've got rain in the forecast tomorrow,
Mm-hmm.
and then I don't have any rain in the forecast until the 27th, which is next Friday. And then after that, there's Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
Oh.
And I don't have any rain after that until
6, 7. Yeah, 7 days.
That's too far, Bill.
July.
That's pretty
I might
far.
get some rain.
So you're already past July 1st. Sounds like.
Yeah. Yep.
I wouldn't trust it that far. My phone, I have an old phone and it's only going to Monday, but I got rain tomorrow and then I'm cleared to Monday. But I think Tuesday and Wednesday are good too. So
Yeah.
that'd be nice.
It's supposed to rain. It's supposed to finish up tonight. So technically, it's going to rain tomorrow. But by 6 o'clock in the morning, it's going to be sunny. So
Yeah,
it's
I
going to
need
be
to
during the nighttime. And then no more rain until Thursday the 26th.
Yeah,
So
I need
that's
about
10,
2 weeks of good heat. Is what I need.
Yes.
that's seven,
Yes.
that's 7 sunny days. So I'm not pulling honey until after that because all the basswood
Oh
trees
yeah.
are just starting to bloom. And I got 50 to 100 of them in my neighborhood. There's a bunch of
The
them.
best thing you can do is stay out of the hives for 7 days.
Yep.
Let them do what they got to do. What ain't right
Yeah.
ain't gonna get right. Yeah.
Yep.
I just leave them. Well, I
I'm
want to
gonna
look
let
in
them.
that drone. I want to look in that drone colony. Louis, come here. Come here. Come here,
Yeah, I'm
bud.
gonna let them collect as much honey as they can
Yep.
off those basswood trees and clover.
Oh,
There's a
so
clover.
tomorrow I'm doing a talk tomorrow. This retirement community is having a luncheon for their volunteers. So she had asked me to make the 3-ounce skeps. So I did 100 of those. I'm gonna be talking to 100 people tomorrow
Wow.
about
Wow.
bees. I'm a wreck. Well,
Why?
I'll be a wreck after. I'll think of you guys. So all you guys, all of yous that I know are going to be in that. For me, it's going to like be talking to you guys like this. 'Cause
Right.
that's the only way I'm going to get through it. Is to think. I mean, the most I've ever had was maybe 20, something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, try show and link again. It's on. Oh, good enough. You're right. I never pinned it. I never pinned it. Hold on. Ah, shoot. I gotta go over to, hold on. I gotta go to YouTube.
You pinned it.
I can
Hold
probably
on.
get it.
That's how I got in here.
Yeah, but I didn't pin it. Oh,
Top, you did.
stream team's on. Stream team's on too. I just saw that. My channel. Where is it? Tom, can you do that? I
No, I
can't.
can't pin it.
Oh,
You
here
have
is.
to.
I'm trying. View your channel. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Oh,
If I would post
no,
it, I
no.
could.
Pin message. There we go. There we go. Pin it to the top. Now I'm going to get off YouTube. I'm going to back out of YouTube. There he is. Okay, hold on. Good enough. I see you. There you are. What do you got now?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes,
All right. I
barely.
changed to my tablet.
Is this, am I back at, okay, there we go. Is Westcliff still on, John? There we go. Try showing the link again. Okay. All right, I don't know. I see what's it called? It's on now. I lost my mojo. And good enough is
Yeah.
here. But
And Nancy, Bob's supposed to text me or call me ahead of time for Tuesdays if he's going to go live or not. I asked him to do that.
Bob who?
yeah, I
Bob
know. That's what I was
Walker,
gonna say.
Bob here. Yeah, we should just go
Bob
back to
who?
Tuesdays. Because he didn't, he wasn't
Yeah, I
going.
don't know. I I mean, I don't know. I don't I don't know. I don't
He wasn't he was
really.
busy yesterday and he wasn't gonna go on. He hopped on my channel around 9 o'clock, I think.
Yeah.
So that's why I went on last night because nobody else was on. I said, I'll jump. We'll talk about something. Then
Yeah,
I
I
got
don't know what
Jeremy,
night I'm
I
gonna
got
go.
Bob.
Hmm.
So I think Tuesdays are better than Wednesdays because then we don't have to worry about the stream team.
I don't worry about them. You can't go on theirs anyway.
No, you can't.
Like you can't get on if you want to
No,
chat, you want to talk, you can't get on.
right,
So,
right. That's
I don't want to
true.
go on someone's chat that I can't get on. That's no fun.
Right, right.
So what's
Well,
up, good
then we
enough?
just
What are you doing? What are you doing in your colonies?
So I had my inspector come yesterday so that I could sell some nukes, and that went all good. The funny thing is we did it in between rain, and
Hmm.
so when we went into some of the nukes, they looked kind of sparse. So I was kind of disappointed. I'm going, how am I going to sell these things? And so I did a change, and I decided that I would go into one of my small hives that was a split that I created at the same time I created my nukes. So today we went in there again. I created my nukes for sale. Um, I gave one nuke to my helper. I told her that, that I would provide her with a nuke, because she's helping me. So I don't pay her, but I do give her a nuke every year she helps me out. And yeah, the banging of the covers,
That's pay.
yeah, it is. Oh, it is. And my current condition, I really need the help. So so it's really appreciated, and she pretty much comes there once a week, so that works out really well. Her and her husband. She's been coming lately, but her and her husband. And
that's good.
yeah, yeah, they've been great. And it's funny, I had people last year helping me out, and I'll tell a quick story. I had one guy that was helping me for a few weeks. They said, "Can I pay you somehow?" And this guy throws at me, goes, "How about 6 queens?" And I went, "Huh? Yeah, exactly." And I'm thinking to myself, well, 6 queens, that's close to the price of a nuke for me. And I'm thinking, you
Yeah,
know,
but 6 queens, you have to have a lot of colony. What do you got to do?
oh no, I
It's,
buy queens. I mean, I have grafted my own queens in the past,
oh, right, right,
but
right. Sorry.
since
Yep.
I've gone through this whole thing with the surgery, I buy the queens now, and I just do splits that way. And I can't graft queens early in the season anyways. I don't probably buy queens until the first week of May. But this guy wanted 6 queens, and I was like, "Are you kidding me?" And I'm thinking to myself, "Well, yeah, I guess I can handle it. My bee business has been doing well, and he's been helping me." I gave that guy the 6 queens, and you know what? That was the last time I saw him.
Oh no.
Yeah, yeah. And then the guy sends me a note and says, "Hey, I've been planning to come and see you." I'm like, "No, we're good. Don't need you. Stay away."
Oh,
I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
how many times did he come to help you before you
Uh,
gave him the?
about 5 or 6 times. I mean, I was pretty good with it, but I'm thinking,
Oh,
all right, I gave you 6 queens. You're coming back a lot more.
Yeah,
And
he took advantage of you.
you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to do that to me twice.
No, he thought he was going to get some more
ah,
food.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's why he wants to come back and get more queens. I'm like, no, no, we're good. Yeah, you're done. But
Wow.
Yeah.
oh, that sucks. Sorry about that.
no, no, I don't mind. When I say I have a business, it's not an income to me. My goal when I started was to figure out how to get this hobby to pay for itself,
Yes.
and
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 I
it's
think I think that's a lot of us is yeah,
and it's doing that with some extra in reserve. So
yeah,
I got a little extra to play with. I can do things where I can buy an Instant app. Uh, I don't mind buying, the Jester Easy Nukes, the boxes and things like that. And then I buy saws and things like this with the money I make. So the business has been self-supporting itself, and I think it helps a lot when it's not taking out of the family income, and it's always nice to have honey to give to friends and family and things, and I
Right.
sell to a lot of people. Um, and it's funny, some family members want to pay for it, they, a lot of times I'm just take it. Uh, there's other customers that are paying a lot more, but, but it works out pretty good. And then selling nukes, that's kind of a jump in income when you sell those things. Uh, but I've gone from my 2 hives now to probably about 8 or 9. Um, some of those have to grow out. I just put so here's a strategy that I use when I make nukes. I split them off into a 5 frame box. I grow the 5 frame out, and once it starts getting full, I put another box on top of that, and I get that to grow out. And once that starts to fill up, I pull a nuke out of that for sale, and then I take the remaining bees that are there, give it a new queen, and start another nuke that way.
yeah,
I
yeah.
can I can get about 2 cycles out of that. So right now I'm in the second cycle, and those I'll be building up, basically just getting them ready for the winter now. There's no hope of getting honey or anything out of that, and I'm not trying to. I'm
Right.
basically trying to build those up for, like you guys were talking about, get one flow out of them in the spring of next year.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Yep.
found that, you know, queens going overwintered the following year end up being very good producers. Yeah. Yeah, I know we had a little fun with the color blindness thing. And it's funny, I always go on this explanation with people of trying to explain to them. I don't see black and white. I do see colors. Color blindness is
Yeah,
people, they have troubles like distinguishing between reds and gray, I'm sorry, reds, reds and
think-
greens, maybe blues
yeah,
and grays. There's
yeah,
probably some other colors out there. And I do use the fluorescent pens that you were talking about. Like those things are game changers. So
yeah.
even when I do use yellow and white and stuff like that, they still stick out like a sore thumb. So
Okay.
the fluorescent colors is the way to go. That has worked real well. And even the color
Yeah, I
blind, I
used the
can see those.
fluorescent green last year. I used a dark green and a fluorescent green, and
Yeah,
that was nice.
well, last year was red, wasn't it? Because
No,
I think,
green. Good bees. Good G. Green.
was it?
Good bees. Will you raise red, green, blue?
Because well, maybe I'm getting it mixed up. Because the year that we used red, I don't see that very well with the bees, but I used pink,
Yeah.
and that color stood out real well. So, funny story. I know it's not bee related, but I'll give you a real quick one. So, stoplight, the red and yellow colors are hard for me to see and probably other colorblind people. And the green light, it washes out because it's such intense light. It looks kind of like a dirty white to me. So I'm on a business trip with these people, and we're driving out in California, totally unfamiliar area, and they have these weird fluorescent lights. And I'm like, guys, I just wanted to let you know I'm colorblind and I'm driving here at night, and the street lights are blending in with the, the street lights are blending in with stoplights. And they're all like, oh my God. I was like, no, we're good. I said, just like all of a sudden a red light might come jumping out at me, it's because I didn't know there was a street light there. I had a lot of fun with them that night. That was my short story. But yeah, the bees are looking good. So I kind of said when I was talking with the inspector, I was underwhelmed by what I was seeing. And then today I went in again today with my helper because I have a customer that is picking up a hive soon, and I was giving one to my helper. We went into the hives and I'm like, I don't know what I saw yesterday, but these hives look great today. We couldn't find a queen yesterday. The queens came out like, the second frame you'd pull out, we found queens. I have a nuke that was 3 boxes high. The bees were pouring out of that thing when we went in. The day before, I'm like, the top box was empty. So I don't know if the weather was doing that or whatever, but wow, it sure changed in just one day.
But then you got to drag round man. Then you got to drag a cord down to your apiary.
Do what?
He says, round man says you have to use a fluorescent light.
Oh,
Use a
no.
black light, and the queen will glow. But then you got to drag a cord down. We stopped doing that when we got Insta-vapes.
Yeah. And actually, one year I bought. You can actually get a handheld flashlight that's fluorescent.
Oh, really?
But I don't use that for finding the queens is very easy. It doesn't have to. You don't need a fluorescent light to see it.
No. Yeah, I think he's just being funny.
Yeah,
Round Man.
yeah.
I don't know where Round Man's new to me. That's a new name. Where are you from, Round Man? Oh, a pocket UV light. Round Man, where do you hail from? We have round
No, I don't know
guys.
him either.
Texas. Texas is a big state.
Texas.
What part of Texas?
Two things come from Texas. No, I forget how that goes. Where we're at in Texas, we got Philip in Texas. Gainesville. Ooh, oh. That's the coast, right? That's the pretty beach town or something. Gainesville, ain't? That's
Southwest, isn't it?
Let's see.
Gainesville. That's on the water, I believe.
Off the coast of America, the Gulf of America.
No, Nancy. I'm originally from Southwest. No, Nancy. No, Nancy. What, Philip?
It is north of Fort Worth. Dallas Fort Worth area. It's north of them.
Oh.
So it's kind
Northeast
of in the northeast quadrant of the state.
Northeast quad. Oh, okay. Up at the top.
Yeah, it's not far from the Oklahoma line.
I think Philip's Dallas, right? Philip, aren't you outside of Dallas? Yeah, North Texas, almost in Oklahoma. Okay. And then you're originally from southeast Oklahoma. Oh, so you moved across the state. I don't have geography in front of me. So, Round Man, are you new to the chats? Yes, Philip's Dallas, suburb of Dallas. My husband works for a company in Dallas, so we're on Dallas time. I'm from outside of Philadelphia, Round Man, in this Philly suburb.
Southwest Ohio.
Yeah, Shenandoah Valley, Virginia.
And I'm
Good
the
enough. Where are
very
you from?
Southwest Ohio.
Good enough. Where are you from?
Connecticut.
Yeah. Okay. Connecticut. Hi,
Connecticut.
Kimberly.
Hey, Kimberly.
Hey, Kimberly.
Oh, he's been lurking for years. What? I'm lurking. My boy.
He lurks in the shadows.
Hey.
There's Charlie.
Man, we let
Well,
Charlie in.
Did you come home from
Woohoo!
your meeting? You home from your meeting?
Hold on. I don't know. I was distributing mite treatments tonight for the club.
Oh.
Got that done.
So
So
there's Mike.
Hey, Charlie, when is that, oh, that one moth? Shoot, I can't think of that moth.
what?
Spotted painted, spotted lantern.
Spotted
Spotted
lantern
lantern
fly.
Spotted lantern fly.
Spotted
Yeah,
lantern
spotted
fly.
lantern fly. When does that hunting happen?
They mate the 15th of July. They start laying their eggs around the 15th of July. And
Okay.
state,
I don't harvest it.
yeah, I don't harvest it either. My honey gets harvested 4th of July weekend.
Yeah, okay. Yep. Okay, good. Because I guess we have pretty many of them around here now.
Yep.
I've seen them at my brother's place, but I haven't seen them at my place.
No, they'll get there.
You'll get a super honey out of it for sure. And
Oh yeah.
some people harvest it, and it's kind of like, what is it, Nancy?
It's a
kind of
plum. It's a smoky plum. So it's a smoky plum flavor. And people market it up here. There's a guy out of Philly that actually markets it. And a lot of the commercial guys, it just really boosted their yields. But there's a guy out of Philly that actually markets it as a, that's a marketing tactic. But I don't know. You could, I'd make sauces like was for salmon or chicken or something with it, but to eat it on like cereal or yogurt, ooh, I don't know. It's too. I like the lighter.
No,
I like the lighter, clear honeys to begin
I'll
with.
be glad to
I
see
don't
them
like
get some late summer honey then. I could leave on the hive. I'd cut down on my feeding.
oh, it'll make a super honey for you. No problem at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Every bit of a
I'll be looking forward to that.
20%. I think the commercial guys up here said it boosts 20%, 30% yield. It was crazy. The percentage that went
Wow.
up here. Now they're gone. Like, I mean, we have a handful of them, but they're gone from North Philly. Like they're left. They're gone. They're no longer.
Yeah,
They took out all those invasive tree of heavens and left.
Well, the prey mantis and all that other stuff, and I think cold weather knocked the living daylights out of them. We don't. The last 2 years, this year and last year, I haven't even seen one this year.
Man, they are all over the place.
No, I
down
haven't
here
seen.
here.
Oh. Well,
Yeah,
they'll run
so-
their course just like what's it called? It did. Remember when we had the stink bugs, and all the stink bugs were going to kill all the corn? We're never going to have corn again. Remember that? Hey,
Yeah.
Clay.
And Japanese beetles was one.
Hi, honey. Yeah, they're pretty much gone here. So they'll wipe out the what are they eating down there, Bill? What are they cleaning out for you?
Tree of heaven, poplar
Yeah.
trees, ash trees, anything that's a real soft, pulpy wood, bamboo, you name it, they're on it.
Oh,
Okay.
bamboo. Well, they can get rid of that too.
Yeah, the tree of heaven, that's another one.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Clay,
they killed all.
Clay's
Hey, Clay.
it went to California.
Yeah.
Who sent the kit to California?
Easy peasy.
Ah, that stinks. Wow, we just had a big influx of people pop on. Is it the time or is
I guess they got bored with the other channel.
yeah,
They probably didn't like the commercials.
we're just
Yeah.
a little oh, is there commercial? Oh gosh. Is there commercials?
There's always a
So
commercial.
I started talking about my colors, Charlie. You know,
Yeah.
Remember when I started doing this light and dark? So we get our flows. This queen here will be through 2 flows. This one will be through 1, but they're both blue. Remember that? I started doing that back. So that way we know whether it's a 1 year, like instead of 1 year or 2 years, 1 flow or 2 flow. But then we got to talking. I don't like the yellow and the white, right? The queen. I want to make them purple and pink. So we were joking on here about people please raise good bees, right? Purple, pink, green, red, blue.
And to me, the blue that I got, the dark blue, it's kind of hard to see.
Yeah.
It is.
And
But I have
then
less.
I went down to Hardiman's and they had a new breeder queen down there. He said first he had it painted white, and then he came back with it was a neon pink or something. And I mean, that thing just popped. And I'm like,
I love pink and
is the neon colors is what I think I would like to go with.
And what I say earlier.
yeah. No, I know. The neon, yes, most definitely. You use that. So more of my queens are the lighter color of the year than the darker color. But I mean, I wish I would have had like, oh, here it is. I wish I would have I could probably lighten this up a little bit. The dark blue. But more of my queens are light blue anyway. The lighter would be the neon of the 2.
Well,
I don't like red. Oh, Dennis doesn't like red or green. Huh?
Probably colorblind.
Why not?
he might be colorblind. Dennis, are you colorblind?
Oh, Dennis is colorblind too?
No,
Good
I'm
enough.
asking him if he is.
I know, right? That's so good enough is colorblind. He was teaching us a little bit about that and what he can see and can't. And now here we got red and green again. I bet you he's colorblind.
Well, Nancy, they say it's 10% of the population.
Yeah.
Mostly
Really?
males. Mostly males.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever met a woman that was colorblind.
They wouldn't tell you.
I will see everybody Friday night on Charlie's chat. And then again on Monday night on my chat at 8 o'clock Monday night, bees all day. So y'all have a good weekend or a good week, and see y'all Friday night. I'm out.
You're gonna bail hay?
See you, Bill.
No, we haven't done any. We haven't cut hay yet.
Well, we're gonna start Friday.
Have fun.
Dennis says he's colorblind.
Night.
Thanks for hopping on, Bill.
Good night, Bill. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah.
See you, Bill.
Thank you.
So Dennis is colorblind too. Left-handed people, I think more males are left-handed too than females. Whether I don't know why that's a gender thing, but just made me think of it when you said about colorblind.
Yeah, I got 2 brothers that are lefty. It runs in my side of the family.
So Charlie, yeah, I don't know. We didn't really talk about. I don't know. We were just talking a lot of smack, I guess. I kind of
Fume
talked about fume
versus
boards.
skateboards.
Yeah, skateboards, fume boards. Talked a little bit about what's going on in my colonies. I have one that had a shit ton of drones on the front porch. So that's one that I put formic on. You know, I lost all my queens to formic in April.
Really?
My big strong colonies that I put formic on in April, I lost the queens in all of them. So
I lost the virgin. I lost the virgin queen the other day.
It was cold.
Yeah, right, Charlie. It was be like February, and I didn't know it was going to do that. I mean, I didn't know. So I wanted to move. You know, I do May and June for formic. So I was following Randy Oliver's Excel sheet, and I thought, well, let's push it up to April when I get all that. When she really starts kicking into high gear laying. Well, it didn't happen. wasn't the Formic. It was the weather. It was the Beekeeper.
Well, I mean, I'm looking at you're under the threshold of temperature for sure.
For
And
sure.
and all that. So was it killed the queens because they were weak or what?
Because I was under, I mean, the temp, we didn't get above 40 degrees until June 1st. It was already long over by that. Like, I realized in May I had lost the queens I did Formic on.
I think I remember you didn't remove your entrance reducers also.
Yeah, but that didn't matter in April. I
Yeah,
have screen bottom boards. That didn't matter
well,
in April.
do you have open screen bottom boards, or
Hmm?
do you have mic tray, trays underneath their screen bottom
Yeah,
boards?
they have the white galvanized, but that's not gonna hold the gap. I mean, screen bottom boards, whether it has the IPM board in or not, is it's not going to make a difference for now. In July, when I put, when I used to use in July, which I will be this year again, I'm going to go back to my old routine of Formic. I definitely will take my entrance reducers off for sure, no doubt about it. But back in April, when I do those early ones, well, this was the first year I was going to do that early, and I don't know, you know. I don't know. I'll have to see what the Farmer's Almanac says for next April. But I did May 2nd and June 2nd the previous year, and it was great. I had low
Nice.
counts all year. I cleaned up with OA and all that.
Yeah, I've never used Formic in the spring. I'll do an oxalic acid either January, February. Uh,
Yeah, I do all
the
them months.
hives are small. Uh, there's probably very little brood, if any. But then they're pretty much zeros for mites, probably until around May.
Yep. I do mine. I start in November and go all the way through March doing
Yeah,
OA. If the
Yeah,
if the temperature's right, like
Yep.
I did an OA. March was cold. I like to be at 45 when I do it,
yeah.
and I think it was February or April. I mean, it was still 45, and I did an OA there, and I went back to look at drops, and I was pretty much zeros.
Yeah,
So
I typically wait till they get to about 60. So
well, see,
I
then they're flying by that time.
yeah, but I'm okay with that. I want them loose in cluster. I want them moving around.
Well, at
As far
45,
as
they're loose. Let me tell you.
yeah, so it's been working. And then I think the only thing I'm going to do different this year, I'm going to hit them with OA sometime in the summer because
Mm,
usually by August I haven't treated by then, and
Ooh.
it's too early for formic, is temperature wise.
when they go Aprigard.
I'm staying away from that. I'm literally just OA and formic, and I
I'm
don't
gonna
like the
try
idea.
Aprigard if it's halfway decent.
Yeah,
As soon as I get my supers off and all that, I'm gonna try Aprigard. Hopefully I'll have good results.
yeah. The other
Oh,
thing
Charlie.
oh,
Oh, sorry. Good enough. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I typically have supers that I'm still trying to get capped by then. Um, I think Apigard's a pretty long treatment it too. I
It's
like
a
I said,
month. It's about if you do a 35, maybe 3 weeks.
yeah, or OA's, minutes. Um, and I like OA. I think it does pretty good. And at that point, I
I
just
mean,
want to knock them.
that's my. I do three things. I used to do Aprivar, but that's junk. So I'm gonna try to get into Aprigard and get more. I've never used it. I've been researching it, and I'm gonna do my testing with it, and then I've gotten familiar with Formic Pro. 3 or 4 years ago. I do that Labor Day weekend most of the time and the last several years, it's been 80 degrees and less and low humidity for at least 4 to 5 days. And I've had good results with that. And then I get into doing OA throughout the winter from November through usually March. But this year it was even later because of the cold weather.
Yeah, I've been late with my formic, and I've been doing that since I started beekeeping. And I'm later than most people. I'm usually hitting them around the end of August, maybe probably in September is usually when I'm at. Last year was an off year for me. I didn't do it until October, and that kicked me in the butt. I lost a lot of hives. It was too late. I think I probably ran into the same thing Nancy ran into. It was just the wrong time of the year to use it.
Yeah, but now
So
you're up north there, Kirk, and in your season a little more compressed.
Connecticut.
It's not much different than Pennsylvania. We're pretty close in latitude, and I'm Connecticut. I'm the southern New England. I'm not the northern New England, and so we're pretty much similar to what Pennsylvania is, Ohio's, their temperatures and things like that. So that's why I tend to watch a lot of those beekeepers on YouTube, because I don't know what it is about the Northeast. Nobody wants to create any YouTube channels.
And Clay's talking about the darn clover, the white Dutch, I guess. I got staghorn sumac over here. I seen the red from the mill. I looked across the road, and you got those cone-looking things. Now I don't know whether are they blooming now or
Red. They're red, right? Maroon
they're
red.
red, maroon red.
Yeah, that's the flower. So
That's the
that would be,
flowers.
yeah, that's probably bringing.
So everybody,
So back up.
I had like folks from down in Southern Maryland. Haven't you extracted? Haven't you? I said no. I said it's
No.
usually 4th of July for me is the norm. Last year we had flow all the way to the end of July for some, and I even asked our state inspector, who's ahead of the whole state, and she says I don't know where it's coming from, and that kind of stuff. So I'm hoping. The bees were flying a little bit this afternoon. It did rain. It was humid, and it did rain some today, and it's going to finally clear up Friday. And we're supposed to get about 4 or 5 good days. And I find with my bees, if it's hot and humid and sunny, they do not fly at noon. They fly about 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon is when they get started. They don't like the heat.
Wow. Are they in the shade?
No,
They don't warm up until. Yeah, Round Man, you got to come on you got to come on the stage in order to share something. But yeah, you got to come on the video here. Charlie, back up a second. So I have Apiguard, right? You use Apiguard now?
Well, I'm going to try.
Well, didn't you used to use it?
I didn't use it last year, no.
Oh, well,
I did
third.
Aprivar, and then I got tested by the National Honeybee Survey, and the mites were out over the top. And then I hit them the next week with Formic, and then I hit them with OA throughout the winter, and I got them under control. So that's the end with me and Aprivar. I'll put it to you that way.
Compare prices for Formic now, and then Formic goes under the capping, so I know the advantage to Formic. But what's the price comparison to Formic to Apiguard?
It's about 100.
Like, what's that?
That tub is $140 something, I think.
And how much of that tub do you use? How many colonies? Like, so Formic now is $140 for 30.
You're gonna use 100 grams per hive per year. It's 50-50 or 25 times 4 or 35 times 3. 35, 35, 30.
100. So Formic's running $140 for 30 packs, and each pack has 2. So you use 2 strips.
You got one satchel. You got if it's 30, you can treat 30 hives.
Right. So that's $140 for Formic this year. It's 140 for 30. So I'm keeping that APA guard in my back pocket if I need, I do Formic and I'm able to clean up with OA here and it's been working. But if I have to go, and then I do brood breaks and all that other stuff. But if I have to, add something else in, it'll be APA guard when I have to do that.
So 140.
Yeah, APA VAR. Yeah, I think that's going downhill. I don't think
APA bar is a thing of the past.
people have been happy with that. That's like that was like the one what was that one that was years ago and people still had it, couldn't believe it. Hemp, it was hemp.
Come on, Hop Guard.
Hop guard.
Yeah, it was a Hop Guard. I think it was Hop Guard, yeah.
That stuff was horrible.
Yeah,
I just distributed stuff, and we distributed a whole bunch of that Hop Guard crap.
Well, people
Are you
buy it.
kidding? I can't believe they're
I'm
still
talking
selling it.
about a package of 24 and a package of 10, and there was quite a few of them.
Ugh.
Yeah, I
And
used it one year and I'll never
there
do it
was
again.
we did one woman that came got a queen today. She's right down below. She bought a 60 pack of April bar. I'm like, really? I mean,
Mm.
whatever.
But not Hop Guard. They buying Hop Guard too?
People were buying. There was a certain amount of people bought Hop Guard. Certain amount of people bought Aprivar. I had 330 boxes of 30 Formic Pro. I had a whole ton of. I got a box worth of Roxanne and what else did we sell? Apriguard in tins, Apriguard in tubs. All the different products. Rob was going to come up with Easy Ox, and he didn't. He just had a baby here a couple days ago.
We did. Oh, I didn't know. Oh, that's right. She was pregnant in January.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
It was over the weekend, and
Yeah.
I think he couldn't make it up there with 6 packs of OA, so he said he would mail them out to the people. And I said, well, I can guarantee. Well, she had a C-section too, I believe. And so I'm guaranteeing he is, taking care of her, taking care of the baby,
Yes.
I think a baby girl, I'm not sure, and
Aw.
all that stuff. So, he didn't, I get it.
Granada. Hey, Granada, honey. Nice to have you. That's a new name too.
I was going to
Charlie,
say
we had
it's
a new-
another new name.
We had a round
that's
Charlie.
That's Jeremy out there in Texas.
Round man. And then who's Granada? Who's Granada, honey? Granada.
That's Jeremy. He is out in.
Oh, okay. Some with 20 or less hives, you can get 2 every 45 days. There's no reason to use anything other than yeah. I like to tighten it up to 3 days, but San Angelo. Oh, there's another tech. Okay, so that's yeah. Okay. Wow. Neat. I don't keep my list anymore, Charlie. I just don't even. I know your list is a good list.
I'm trying to make a list.
Jeremy has changed his branding, I guess you call it.
To Granada?
Yeah.
Grenada, honey. San
And,
Angelo, Texas. There's James. Hi, James.
Looks like more and more people dropping off and jumping over here.
Yeah, we're up to 37. We were down in the teens. Now we're jumping back up again.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jeremy's used to be Queen V's honey. And
Oh, I remember that name. Queen Bees. I remember
yeah,
that
well,
name
I
now.
think he got
uncle.
dequeened. I think they dequeened each other, from what I gather.
Ah.
I'll have to say one thing, Jeremy. I'm on your Facebook page, and you're pretty good at picking up the next gal, and she ain't no slouch when it comes to looks. That's for sure.
Woohoo! Woohoo! Oh, I got you. So the other partner was a queen. Oh.
I don't know.
Why are you not, Philip? Because we're not letting you. We're not letting you. No, I have no idea.
I'm not seeing him either.
Yeah,
Philip thing.
Jeremy likes to
I
work
see
out.
him.
She does too. That's for sure.
Maybe he's blocking us.
Thank you, thank you, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you. Just got requeened though. I got requeened.
Yeah, but depends on how much she pinched you, though.
All right. Back to bees.
Oh,
Like the other night, Saturday night was getting a little weird.
What was Saturday
I don't want
night?
to go down. I don't want to talk about it.
Who was on?
Nancy,
Saturday?
I just wanted to comment on your
Yeah,
your Formic when I think you said what 130 or no, what was
Yeah.
the price for 30 of them?
140. 140.
I did the quick math, and I think you're down below $5 a hive or
Yeah.
treatment, which I think that's well worth it.
That's a half a jar. That's not even a. I sell 8 ounces for $10, so it's 4
Yeah,
ounces
I
of
mean,
honey.
if
Well worth it.
as long as you're not killing hives and you're saving hives, that's
Well,
definitely
right.
well worth it. And I mean, OA, you can't beat the price. You gotta pay for the
No,
vaporizer,
that's
but
pennies. That's pennies on the dollar. I mean,
yeah,
and then
even
what's the other one? What's Apigard? Did you do the math for Apigard?
I don't know what the price for that was.
I don't know either.
Does someone have that?
I'm looking it up.
So when I tried the that Hop Guard one year. That stuff was messy as can be. Hop Guard 3, I was told to use, and I was told it's organic because it uses what the heck the thing you make? Hop.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, whatever that stuff for
Hops.
making beer, hops.
Yeah.
And that thing, I don't think it even killed any mites, and it left a spot on my frames where the strips were put in. And for several years, the bees would not even touch that spot.
Ooh,
So
that gives you the creeps.
oh yeah, I'm like, this stuff's going in the garbage. It's no good.
Yeah.
But I every once in a while I'll hear someone say, "Yeah, try Hop Guard. It works great." And I'm like, "Oh, not my experience." So that's just my 2 cents on that.
And it's messy. They
Oh
tell
God,
me.
it's messy. It is the gooeyest.
All right. Apigard.
sorry, I think they call it.
The pail is $144. It'll treat 30 hives.
Oh, well, there you go. That's the same. That's comparison to Formic,
Yeah,
pretty much.
$480 a treatment.
Yeah.
less than $5. That's not bad.
Yeah. That's a
And
that's
then
a half a jar of honey. Well worth it.
we were comparing for Formic. Let's see.
140. I think it's $140 for 30 treatments this year. I don't know. Bill hasn't billed me yet, so I don't know.
I don't know what if the tariffs are going to bother, because that's a Canadian product. I don't know if that's going to get any whack by the tariffs or not.
All right, you buying 30 dose formic?
Yes.
It's 106.
My
Well,
channel's not running.
do what? 30 dose formic. It better be is $165.
Oh, that's try. Go to do Forest Hill. Look on Forest Hill. Or Bill. Go to Bill. Go to Shenandoah. Shenandoah.
So at 165, that's 550 a treatment.
What? Say it again?
It's at 165 for 30. That's
Yeah,
550 a treatment.
550. See, it's still.
Still
So
not bad.
Tom is so some people are on through Tom's sharing his
Yeah, that's what's going on.
he signed out and signed back in and he's on his own. He's billing. He's double billing.
Well, and I
So that's
leave
why
shares on the mine.
Tom's got a private line.
No,
No,
he's
I'm sharing it.
simulcasting.
yeah.
Simulcasting it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
you
got
weren't
mine
you,
up now.
you said you weren't able to do that because you didn't have the paying channel, but you're able to do it now?
I just figured it out like a half an hour ago.
Yeah, I saw you doing something over there, but I didn't really. Okay, cool. So you figured it out. So now you have to tell us how to do it later. Maybe not now, but another time.
Yeah, another
Teach us how to
time.
do it because I didn't. But yeah, so that's why Philip. That's why you can't. You
Right, I
can't.
got eight. I got 9 people on my side.
I got 41. Wow, what happened there, man? We blew up. And there's Norman McBilly. Hi, Norman McBilly. Where are you from? I'm on Tom's.
So
Well,
yeah,
James, you can just stay over there. Yeah,
the
I don't care.
battle between the B team.
I'm just giving John James a hard time because that's what I do. Norman McBilly, where are you from? Where do you hail from? Vancouver Island. Woohoo! Vancouver Island.
Okay.
Hey, I got a button on mine. I can stream this to your audience.
Do it. Huh?
Yeah, I could too.
Tom's channel is for adults. Philip, you know you can't go there. You know what happens when you try to do that. No, it's Clay. It's just he's just getting the credit for the viewers. It's okay. Oh, there we
I have to
go.
see
What's
if I can
this?
share.
I got something up here in the top. What's that?
What's
That's it. What says that it?
You are live, Sawmill. Ooh. So
I
Charlie, if
just pushed you out into all the people that are subscribed to me.
wow,
Yeah.
cool. I screwed up. Yeah, just subscribed. Need you.
There is
I'm
a
seeing
way to do that.
you. Well, I'm running live, Philip. So when you came on, there was 31. I think I'm running mine shows live. It's at 42. And now that Charlie pushed it out, we'll see what it's 9:30 at night, guys. I've been up since 6. What are you doing to me?
You got to go to 10:30.
Hey, how late were you on? I heard a little squeaky squirrel tell me you guys were on till 3 in the morning on
Now,
Friday.
you mean what, Friday? I finally shut it down at 11. And then
Oh, because I was gonna say you have to get up for work on Saturday.
it was about midnight when I said, look, guys, I got to go. See y'all later.
Oh, there's DC. There you are, DC. Finally, you show up. Separate channels. Yeah,
ADC
right,
Dave.
Philip.
Now, Nancy, when you look on your thing,
Yeah.
you see like there's like a little hoop in the corner,
Yes. Yeah.
a ring.
Yeah. Link. You. Mm-hmm.
That link up there, I think it'll show up on these when they jump in. that link shows up on the people's names. I'm not sure.
Guest destination from. Yes, I see. I can do this too, but I don't really. I might do that. See about Friday. Maybe I'll try and start moving in. Okay, DC. Hi, DC. Where were you? Oh, so DC. I decided to rename the color, the bee colors. I want to do pink and purple to replace yellow and white, and then red, green, blue. But I gotta figure.
Newly hatched queen. Now that'd be you need to wait,
Oh,
Norman, at least 2 weeks before she gets mated, and that depends on the weather. If you're getting a lot of weather, like a lot of rain, you
yeah.
might as well add another week to it because that's what I've been up against.
70 degrees and sunny, and you can't count days that aren't set or no wind. 70 degrees, sunny, and no wind, and you
Yeah.
can't count days that have not of the if those three things. 2 weeks maybe, right? So you can do 2 weeks if it's sunny and no wind for her to get mated. There's 15 to 20 days. It's more like it.
Yeah, I've seen up to almost
So it's a month from the time you put those cells in. By the time you do your
Well,
walkaway split, that's
I'm talking about when you got I hand you a virgin. When she hatches,
hatched.
you know.
Yeah.
A cell.
No,
You mean a
virgin.
cell?
No, the virgin. When
virgin.
the virgin comes out of that cell, it'll take 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah.
And sometimes longer.
I see that. No
Yeah.
life beekeeper. See there. It comes up with a in the chat.
Oh, right.
See the little link.
Yes, yes, yes.
All right,
I'm gonna see if
that's coming in either
yeah.
me or somebody else.
Yeah.
That's
The reason
true.
is when a queen emerges from the cell, she doesn't fly to get mated till 4 to 6 days after the day she emerges.
Right.
Right.
And then after she gets with all the brood gets mated, she cannot lay eggs for another 4 to 6 days to process all the semen that she just received. So you have actually almost 2 weeks right there where she's either not flying or she can't lay eggs. And then sometimes with weather, she doesn't fly out like till 10 days or whatever. Then you add another. That's why it's at least 2 weeks.
Long time. Just give it longer. When you think there's enough, give it another week.
And if you got some bad weather, give them 3 weeks.
Yep.
Yeah, just pull a frame in the middle and see if there's eggs, and then put it back.
Exactly, DC. Her body's got to harden up, and she actually grows. She probably gets 30% bigger, would be my guess, the time she emerges and when she flies.
Watch Bees in the Weeds with Kent Williams. He's the guy that taught me how to graft back in 2019. And he is the real master beekeeper. He's the only one that I know that I could call that, give that guy that name. And he'll go in the first 2, maybe 3 videos, because it's a 5 or 6 part video session. He goes into some details that about that. The first thing I picked up on is when he hatches a virgin, she stays in a candy cage for a week. And then he puts her on day 5 or 6, I think it is, into that mating box. Why? Because she will fly out that day because
Yep.
She does her hardening up.
she
She
did
hardens
everything.
up.
She got her ovaries up,
Yep.
developed. She's got her exoskeleton hardened. She's got her
Yep.
wings hardened and dried and whatever. And she's ready to
Strengthened.
go.
Yeah.
As long as
Right.
she's got good weather, he drops
And
that
day
queen.
5 is right in the middle of the 4 to 6 days. So it should be flying that day or the next day.
Yeah.
But
Huh.
I've noticed in my, I haven't been rearing queens for the last 3 years, so I got back into it this year, and I've learned quite a bit by listening to like Ryan Williamson, who will be on my show Friday night, and
Ooh.
he's queen breeder. He does
Yep.
VHS queens, and he is really trying to develop his own line. And he has quite a he really tests a lot. He knows where his queens are, what they're doing. But anyway,
So yeah, in a
I
flow.
I found
in
out,
a-
like you say, a week later, but if they're 1 or 2 days old, you can open up the candy cage. Let's say you're going to make up a mating box or put them in another queen or another hive. She'll just walk on in there. You wait a week, look out, just like Mark Miller advised me. She'll go. I had one here this
Just
past
right away.
Saturday. She was a week old. She walked out, she walked down, walked right back up on top of the bars and flew away. And I'm like,
Yeah.
man. And I said, the best thing to do for me is to put that cage in. It's got candy in it. I just had a girl talk to her tonight. She said the candy was gooey because it was hot this week. And she took the candy out. Well, she didn't. I don't get it, but it's like, people, can't you figure out how to run a JZ Beezy cage? Don't you know what the plastic cork is? Don't you know that you fold, that bends over on one side and the hinge, the candy cage side hinges on the opposite direction? It's like, I don't know. I mean, to me, it's very simple. But, for that situation, if it's gooey like that, the candy was gooey in the cage and the bees were in there. All right, well, then go in there. She had it rubber band to a frame, pop open the plastic cork, make sure it's open enough to where they can walk out, close the hive back on up, come back in a day. I'm sure they'll be all outside into the hive. So
Yeah, DC, what DC's saying. So DC's up in the northwestern part of the country. So right, a warmer dryer would indicate his bees would want to get out and get moving, I would think. And then if you're in a flow, it might be a little quicker. So it all depends on, what's going on too.
That's why I say 4 to 6 days. It could be as quick as 4 days, and it could be as long as 6 days.
Now that I'm in flow, mine were quick this round. We put him in
Yeah.
Thursday.
Clay said he had one fly off and land on the other hive. Well, mine flew off of a mating box, went down on a little weed. I grabbed her in the weed. I had her in my hand like that, and I'm trying to open it up to grab her, and then she's gone.
And then
And
you do this acting like an idiot in your yard grabbing.
So Nancy, that queen I lost last week, she was only 2 hours old. So I knew she crawled in. She crawled into that hive. She had to.
Yeah. Right.
It was the only hive open, and she was sitting right on it, on the edge.
So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to, I've been putting attendants in for people and, that kind of stuff. And the lady called today and she said, well, the attendants or somebody, there were bees in the cage dead. And I'm like, well, what did you do? Well, she dug all the candy out and the queen was in there because I got everything I sell is marked. And I said, well, then she walked out. You didn't see her dead in the cage, did you? No. Well, she's out in the hive someplace. You got to go. If it was a nuke or 5 or 6 frames of bees, pick them up the frame and see if you can find her. If you want to be that curious, I don't know. I just,
yeah,
it's just
makes
me
you
and
wonder
my
why.
experience and stuff like that. I just feel like, people, where y'all been at?
Yeah, where's the common sense? I know.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, maybe I shouldn't run my mouth, but
I know, Charlie. It gets a little. I know.
It's
I
just
know.
like,
So I get frustrated too with some. It's like get a mentor. You know what I mean? Like you can't just. This is not
that's
something
hard.
you can just
That's
wing on your.
hard to find a mentor. I will have to say that. But I've been, if they're 2 days old, freshly hatched, I just walk them on in. And everybody, oh, that ain't
Yeah,
no
but
good.
this polished. Okay, so it takes a while. Like that's not something that 3, 4 year beekeepers gotta know to look like that. That's not something that just jumps out at you. That takes a
I
lot
don't
of
know. I
years.
couldn't tell you what a polished cell looks like. I have no idea.
Yeah, it's hard. Like polished cells, yeah, that's not something people are gonna see, or I mean, that takes a long time to see that. So, yeah. Oh, here
Clay's
Clay's
gonna
gonna
wholesale
wholesale
his nukes.
snooks.
That's why I quit selling nukes, Clay. After so many years of it wasn't well, partially the people that were getting the nukes, like be here on time, be here at a certain time. I'm not supposed to have to work around your schedule. You work around my schedule
Yeah,
and you work
yeah,
around the bee schedule. And they don't get that until
yeah,
after, until they really commit themselves to beekeeping because you're a farmer. If you're a dairy farmer, I don't care what you're doing. That cow gets milked at 4 in the morning and 4 in the afternoon. Whether
yeah,
you're sick or what, you're going to crawl yourself out there to milk the cow. Same thing with bees. You can be a little bit more flexible with bees, but no, or
Mine
BC,
was
I never did a deposit thing. And then the other part of raising nukes is you'll take orders and then you wind up, hey, I got a catastrophe on my hands where I can't supply you with bees. Then that makes me look
yeah,
bad. And I've had that happen to me once.
yeah.
So
It's
for
hard.
me,
It does.
I get real stressful about that, worrying about that kind
Mhm.
of stuff. And I'm like, you know what? The money it isn't all that worth all that great. And I got to looking at it the last couple of years. I'm like, hand me the money. Here's the honey. See you later. Bye.
Yeah,
And and uh and then I'm like, okay, I can manage my, if a hive dies, well, okay, it died. I'll manage that problem, you know. Whereas if a nuke dies, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? That thing was sold. I got to do something quick. So I don't do that anymore. I don't have that stress load anymore. And it's so much nicer as a beekeeper. So
yeah.
I downsized to where this year last year I was going to go to 14 and decided to go to 16 honey hives. Went to 16 honey hives and 12 nukes. And then this year I said, you know what? I don't think I need 12 nukes for my own backup. So I said, okay, let's do 8 nukes and 18 hives. So that's what I did. So I'm growing several of those hives up for next year. So now my main thing is now if we can ever get into the hives. Last Saturday I had a little bit of time. I think I went through 7 hives. I
You
am
see,
working on
I
getting
think
all my queens updated to 2025 queens for next spring. And
I think we ebb and flow, Charlie. We ebb and flow. Some years we sell bees, some years we sell honey. Some years we sell queen, some years we sell honey. Like it ebbs and flows,
queen,
I'm rebuilding.
yeah, but my main thing is
Hey,
guess what?
Michael.
I can do honey by myself. I can take care. I might have, and I got a neighbor of mine that I help him out. I mentor him. He helps me with his back as far as lifting my honey supers for me and helping me get them into the house. Because if 2 of us can get them in my house on each time we bring them in, a whole lot easier. Because I just can't walk into the house. There's a
Mhm.
set of stairs. If I can back a truck up like to a loading dock and he can hand me a super and I walk right in and drop it into a holding thing, it's so much easier and nicer. So I got that little bit of help there. So I have to worry about my honey hives. If something happens to them, that's my problem. I don't have to worry about the public. And then when it comes to queens, queens is what would you call it? You only work queens for about 3 months or so, and you're done. And queens are lightweight, simple to do. I enjoy it. It's of course it's new. It's back. It's sort of new to me. It's an old new thing. I like a challenge. And as I tell people, when you graft, that's a game between you and the bees. Who wins? Did the beekeeper do a good enough job to graft and you get a 90% success rate, or did you get a 40% success rate? So it's a skill set that I like to hone to where I'm really good at it. And then by doing that this year, I've learned a few things. I've watched Ryan Williams. All right. I learned how to bank virgins. I learned to make things more successful. I have an incubator. And now this year, like we said, it was a lot of cold, wet nights, a lot of in 40s at night. So I set it up. Originally, it was on Thursday nights when they would hatch. I was grafting on a Saturday. They were coming due on a Thursday. I said, okay, let's get rid of that idea. Let's graft on a Monday and they come due on a Saturday when I have more time. And I always, that's 6 days. Cells are capped. Put them in the incubator. I had a bunch of cold nights, so I keep them in the incubator. I used to let them hatch in the incubator. And if they hatch in the middle of the night, they might starve to death. And I've had them do that. So
Feed them, Charlie. I always put food in all my cells.
I've been down that road, Tom. I put the darn, what do you call it, crystallized honey on there and all that stuff. And you know what?
Just a
The
little
best
bit of
way to
honey
do
and a
it
little bit of
is,
water. That's all they need. Just
well,
a little.
been there,
touch.
done that, and I've just have never been successful. So what did I do? Through watching Williamson in Virginia, I'm going to do it the natural way. Let the bees take care of the bees. I got my easy peasy cages. I incubate until about a day or two before, let's say Thursday evening. If I got time, I take the cells. Now what I'm doing is day 6 is Saturday. I take the cells out of that hive. I put them in easy peasy cages. I put them in the incubator. Come next Friday, before they hatch Thursday, usually Thursday evening. Thursday evening, I will take those cells out of the incubator, put them in a banking frame that are designed for those easy peasy cages, which I bought that. Put them back in that cell builder. They will hatch out Friday night into Saturday. Bees will feed them right away.
Hey, Charlie, why go to the incubator then? I've basically skipped the incubator and just let them hatch right out into the cell builder in the cages, and they don't starve because they're being fed by by the bees. Am I still on? Everybody's locked up.
Yeah, you can put the cell. Just put the cell in each one.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is you could skip the incubator and just go right into your what do you call
Your,
your hive. But
your splits.
yeah, they'll take care of the cells right there. And they'll feed them when they hatch. But
You lost them.
yeah, I don't know what happened there. But when I did some grafting, but the best thing I found that happened to me is as soon as I had capped cells, I would put the cages on them and then just put them right back in the hive. And I'd let them hatch out in the hive, in the cages. And then once they're hatched out, I put them in their splits and their stuff.
Yeah. I grafted you once or twice in the spring and once and twice this time of year. But
Yep.
this year I didn't graft the summer salt tips because I had 3 hives. Last 2 years I've had 1 hive swarm, and this year I had 3. And I cut cells. I cut 20 25 cells out of three hives.
It's a nice way of
Where'd
crafting.
Charlie go?
He
I don't think
dropped
he
off.
liked what I was saying.
Yeah.
Huh?
I don't think he liked what I was saying. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, come on now. Rodney Middleton. Hi, Rodney.
Yeah, hey Rodney. We were saying that you could put the cells as soon as they are capped, you can put them right in your split. Now you can put them in the incubator
Yeah,
in
yeah.
an easy peasy
Yep.
cage.
I was putting I was putting the cage, the hair rollers over them, and then putting them back into my
Thanks, Roy.
my
Good night.
my cell starter, only because I wanted to see which ones had hatched or emerged.
Oh, hi, Brian. Flower Street.
Because the problem
Okay.
that I was running into, I did try one year putting the cells right in there, and I had cells that never developed. In other words, they never emerged.
Well, I
And
meant
so,
ones already capped. Right.
oh no. I'm talking about ones that have capped. But what happened is I had a few of them that never emerged after they were capped.
Right.
And here it is. I spent the time putting a split together, and no virgin ever emerged. And then that split was just kind of wasted.
Right.
So I
Yeah,
didn't want to do splits unless I was putting a virgin queen in there.
right.
Oh,
You can
what's
wait
this? The jacket
you
removal.
can wait to day 13 and then the chances of dying in the cell are significantly less.
True. Yeah, I wanted to make sure I didn't screw up. In other
Right.
words,
Right.
they capped it, and it ended up being just a garbage cell. And I'm doing this small quantities. I'm doing this like less than 10 cells or something. But hey,
Right.
when you're running 10 or 15 hives, that's more than enough cells.
Hey, Brian. I want to say hi to Brian.
Yeah,
He just jumped on.
we know where he was tonight. We know where Brian was. Just teasing. Yeah, yellow jacket removal. Ugh, that sounds freaking scary. And up here, I mean, we just wait till the first hard frost and then they're gone. And they won't build.
Yeah.
Is this true? I heard this. Is it true that the yellow jackets won't build a nest at the same place? They won't like they go to a new place every year. They won't if you leave it, they won't come back. Unlike a honeybee who will smell the pollen, nectar, honey, blah blah, and want to be there again, the yellow jackets don't come back. Is that true? Somebody know? Rodney, is that true? Someone who's versed in yellow jackets. I like yellow. The only reason I like yellow jackets in my yard is they tell me the condition of my colonies. If I have yellow jackets that are being able to get in the front door and stay in there, I know there's an issue. And I want to figure it out. Usually it's mite pressure at that time. But I like the yellow jackets to tell me what the condition of my colonies are, and they'll tell you.
I found out the hard way that yellow jackets will destroy your apples on your apple trees too.
Well, what?
Yellow jackets will bore holes into your apples if you have apple trees.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm pretty sure they live in there or something, because you'll have apples that will have yellow jackets and sitting in these holes.
Yeah.
And yeah, they'll make a mess out of your apples if you have a hive nearby.
Oh, yeah.
Found that out last year.
I usually have to kill a nest or two in my property every year, or the foxes do it for me. Foxes find the ones that I don't find.
Huh. I never associated. So we have a lot of fox in the area here. There's nothing that's going to get them here.
Yeah, I have a lot of
So
foxes in my neighborhood. And skunks now this year. You saw my little video I put out a couple days ago?
I agree with the part, they're cute. And as a young kid, we had some baby skunks near us. And I wanted in the worst way to catch one and keep it, but you know, I looked at because I think someone said you can, you know, a vet will descent them or whatever, and like no vet
Yeah.
Yes.
no vet around here would touch them. And
Yeah, I'm going to fill the hole in later on this fall once they leave their little hole nest.
yeah, yeah, they're real cute
Right,
until
Brian.
they
So
spray your
this is what
dog.
I was talking about. If you have yellow jackets going in, you know you have an issue because they're going to find your weak mite, high mites, your weak colonies. If they're going in, you better combine in the late, combine or do fix something. You got something to fix if they're getting in. Now, yes, and they do run a little colder. They're able to fly earlier.
Yeah,
But those guard bees still should be there, running them right back. If I see a yellow jacket go in, I want to see it come out within a split second. If it goes in and
right.
has time to mess around in there, you got problems.
Yeah, one of my
Yeah, so
hives
Bruce
last.
Brown, this is what I've heard from guys that you might as well leave it because they won't come back. Though the queen
Right.
won't in this spring, the whole process, they won't come back to
Yeah, the
that
new
particular
queens will
location.
find a new home because they don't even know where the old home came from.
Yeah. Okay. I saw somebody else come on too. Oh, Highland Honey. Hi. I saw him come on.
Oh, yeah, Highland
They,
honey. Yep.
they, them, he, she. I'm not sure who. Highland Honey. I forget the name. Sorry. Some names I remember, but it's been enough years now. But so I have Bill Gardner's Shenandoah Bee Supply. He sponsors my channel. So I do a little advertising for him. Hi Highland, Shona.
Yeah, Shona.
Hello. Cool. I didn't know that. So yeah, so Bill you know, sponsors me. So I try to keep him up on the
If
well,
it's that
okay,
cold,
yeah, Brian. But you're not, I don't think you're not gonna be that cold. Like if they're in cluster, those yellow jackets
there's
are
no yellow
but
jackets.
I don't know Colorado. You're a mile high. I don't know. But here I'm not in a they're not in a cluster. They're not
This
clustering at that.
if if they're clustering and there's yellow jackets, I don't have yellow jackets around. Nothing's around because
Right.
we've had a frost or a freeze already, or
Yeah,
close to it.
right. But he's in Colorado, so he might have a little different situation than we do down here, Tom.
Yeah, that's true. And you might have slightly different yellow jackets than we have.
Yeah, there might be another species that doesn't, or they don't get a hard, because when we get a hard frost, now just not just a frost, but a hard frost where it's, I forget the term. I forget, there's certain,
30,
has to
32
be a certain,
degrees.
but for an X amount of time, there's a time at 32 for a hard frost. Uh, there's a time that has to be at 30 below 32 or more than that for a certain amount of time to be a hard frost here for me is when I look out and everything that was green is now black. It's not just a touchy frost where you see a little crystals on the grass. It's anything that was green is now dead. That's a hard frost. And after
Yeah,
that, then the yellow.
I see what Brian's saying. In the first hour or two in the morning, the bees, since it's cooler out, the
Yeah.
bees aren't active yet. The yellow jackets are 100%
Yes.
active
Yes,
before it
and
warms
that's
up.
true. But I don't want to see them going in my colony. If they go in my colony, I want to see them come right back out again. Hold on, my tea's ready. Hold on.
Yeah. Yeah, they'll go in and then 2 seconds later, 3 seconds later, the bees will push them back out. even on a cooler morning. Yeah, I've seen that, Brian, but it's not very. That probably only lasts for a week or two in my area, and then we'll have a cold enough night where the yellow jackets are gone. Yeah, they might get a little bit of honey or resources out of the hive, not much. Yeah, I've seen that. I don't worry about it too much because it's a very short period.
We have carpenter bees around our yard, and one year I opened up the hive and a carpenter bee just flew right into the top of the hive. And the particular time it flew into the hive, it was covered in bees.
There we go.
So it
There
flew
we
right in.
go.
It flew right into
Yeah,
Thanks,
the hive.
28
Hyland.
degrees.
That's what I was looking for. I knew that there was some stipulation for that. Tom, you know what I'm thinking about too? You know how you're running the warm way? You're
Yes.
running the warm way. I'm curious to see what yellow jackets and pests do with that. Like,
Yeah.
you know?
And I do another thing too. My entrance has a 1-inch block inside that the bees know they have to go in 1 3/4 inches and then they can go out to the sides. But all yellow jackets, when they go in, they think the entrance is at the front and it's really 1 3/4 inches back. They will not make it back out. It even stops robbing bees,
Yeah.
robbers' hives. It works
So
good.
is that similar to that hive gate perhaps where it was blue and they went in and then they had to go deep and then up or something? Remember that the guy from
Yes, that's the same principle. So when anything goes in that hive, they think the entrance is at the front, and
yeah.
it's back farther.
You know what I did one time? So I was at the point where I couldn't keep buying trinkets. You know, it was back year 4 or 5 when I was still buying trinkets. And I thought I can't continue. So what I did was I took an old inner cover and I put the inner cover, I put the bottom board, and I put an inner cover, and then box number 1. So they had to go, the bees figured it out very quickly. They had to go all the way in and then up. And that really stopped robbing for me. And then I cleaned up my act. It was the robbing was because of my beekeeping skills. Like I was messy. And then once I honed what?
We've been going for 3 hours.
Oh geez. But I honed my skills so that the robbing is less because I became a better beekeeper, and I also let my grass grow up in the front too, which also helps. But Barnhill Bee, hi.
Hi, Barnhill
Oh,
bees.
DC. Yeah, DC, we're running on Charlie's, Tom's, and mine. So if you can't see other people's comments, it's because you're on a different you're not on
Right.
you're seeing it through my channel, but the comments, yeah, I'm on 3 channels. Yes.
I'm ready to
Yes,
hop.
it's
I'm ready
pumpkin
to end
time.
my side, Nancy. 3 hours
Come on.
is
Oh,
long
right.
enough.
You were on last night. I get it. I get it.
I was on last night too.
I'm hitting a stride here. I'm going into what's it called? What do you call it when you get the second wind?
You're on overtime.
Right. I'm ready to crash.
Yeah, I made my 9 night tea this time along, so I'm not going to be too much gone. But yeah, Charlie laughed. I guess he gets up early tomorrow too, so I don't know. But anywho, yeah, all folks who are on through Charlie. Oh, there goes Tom. Through Charlie's channel.
I since he's not on, I shut him down.
Tom, why would you do that?
Oh, he just left. He didn't say anything.
Well, I was connected to all his people.
There was only a couple on his channel. Well, I can add him back on. You can add anybody on.
We can't. I can't add him back on now. Just quit hitting buttons. Quit clicking buttons, you. Yeah, well, Tom shut DC. Tom shut Charlie down. So that's why. Now they're all coming back over. Good Lord, Louise. Bad Tom, yeah. We're going to start calling him Buttons.
So now I know how to do that stuff. I'm dangerous.
Oh, so I grew up near the Amish, over here. And that would be knob dicking. Quit your knob dicking. You'd be told by your parents, quit knob dicking. Yeah, but Charlie's still connected. So Charlie tied his channel into mine so that all the people like would see and come over. And then no, he wasn't pissed. Charlie's not, no. He's not like that. I've known Charlie a long time. Longer than the expo, longer than Hive Life. But
Yeah.
teaspoon boric acid, a mix of water and bear. What's this in here? Boric acid, a mix of water, and old beer and apple juice, and meat for flavor.
Yeah. To catch yellow jackets.
Oh yeah, that's like the beetle traps. Well, I don't want yellow jackets coming to check out. I used to do that. I don't want them. Yeah, because Highland came through mine, I guess.
Who has old
Play.
beer?
You didn't realize how much fun we were over here, did you?
See, I'm helping out.
Tom, quit your knob dicking.
I'm checking weather right now. We got another storm coming. Yeah, not as bad.
Can you hear me?
We had
anymore?
one go through at I don't know, six. It's right before I came on 6:30. Something. The sun was shining. It was pouring. It was neat. One of those neat rains. My bees were probably flying in it. My bees fly in the rain at 42. They're still flying.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
It's quiet, but we can hear you. Oh, so I'm not lady. So DC is saying it's not ladylike. Well, all you who know me know better than that. Do you think
That's
I could
funny.
be a beekeeper for 8 years in this men's sport? This is a man's game. There's many chats I'm on where I'm the only woman. So,
We got Kimberly on and we got Shanna.
yep.
Shanna,
Now,
that's
years
30.
ago, there wasn't. I'd be keeping a skirt too, so that'll keep me ladylike.
We just got to get Sarah on here. Or actually, there's two Sarahs. Sarah without the H and one with the H.
Yes. And the other one I know too, there's Nancy. Nancy, she's from Pennsylvania too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, anyway, it's actually she's two last names. Last is T, like mine, but and then there's also Baltimore, Greater Baltimore, Lynn. I know her too.
Yeah.
I'm too chicken. Kimberly, what are you chicken about? Just come on and start talking smack, man. There's nothing to be chicken about.
Yeah.
Oh, gardening, yeah.
Yeah, I get on sometimes on Sarah's Tuesdays.
Oh, really? She does it daytime? Oh, I'd love to be
Yeah.
on. I'll have to go look. DC, tell us what her handle is.
Oh, I know it. I can get it.
Peace out, bro. Bye, Brian. Butts bees,
It's
lady.
probably faster than me.
Sarah, I've seen DC. I've seen DC comment on way far out channels. Like I see DC on a lot of channels. Sarah. That's not the lady from Hawaii, DC, is it? No. Her name's not Sarah. Who's the lady that moved from Hawaii to Pennsylvania?
Yeah,
You know
Sarah
who I'm
Happy
talking about.
Hives. That's what she goes by.
I try to encourage new beekeepers. Yes, she's funny though. Sarah Happy Hives. I asked you this before, DC. Who's the lady from Hawaii?
Simple
Y-
beekeeping.
Oh, wait, huh?
Simple beekeeping. She's the one that moved from Hawaii to Pennsylvania.
Yeah, what's her? Larissa.
Yes.
Larissa.
Yep.
Marissa.
Larissa, yeah. She's here in my area now. Yes, she's by me. Like really, she called me and asked to do videos in my yard, and I'm like, I don't know, it's winter. I was I should have I didn't get it.
Larissa. Yeah.
Yeah, she's a great first time beekeeping made simple. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, why would anybody move from Hawaii to, well, I think, I don't hold me to this, but I think they were from here and then business sold or
Somewhere.
something.
Yeah, she was
I think she
somewhere
talked,
somewhere on the mainland. I'm not sure if it was Pennsylvania, but somewhere in the States. And then
yeah, and then I think
she
they
came
sold
back.
a business, but she talks about it.
Yep. I've caught a
Yeah.
couple of her videos.
Oh, right. Okay, family. Yeah, and she's got young children, so they might have wanted to move back, you know, when you have young kids, you kind of, yeah.
Nancy, question. You said you're around Harleysville. Do you know
Yes, I mean,
do you know of a company called Amercon?
ColorCon?
Amercon, like Americon? Amercon? No,
Mm-mm.
no. That's a company I was going down and doing trips down in that area. It's kind of in the Hershey area.
Okay.
Is Harleyville near Hershey?
No, so
Different
Hershey is
area.
out. Think Harrisburg, Hershey, Harrisburg, Harleysville, Philly. So
Okay.
we're good 2 hours without looking at it. Two and a half
Okay.
hours.
I was going near Harrisburg, I think. I would go
Yeah,
there
you
for
were running.
about a week at a time.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah, I'm right above Philly, like right above. So this weekend I'm gonna sell honey in Philly. It takes me about 40 minutes down to run down there. It'll be my last weekend until September in Philly.
Okay.
So they shut it down July and August. It's too hot. It's just too hot.
Hey, Nancy, Sarah lives about 42 miles west of me in Indiana.
Okay.
So it takes like an hour and a half to get to her house because you have to go all backwards. But
Yeah.
one of my goals I was going to head over there and maybe sometime this summer and I can talk to her to join us on our Wednesday quest.
Okay.
So
Cool. Yeah. Well, we had all of Charlie's 1,000 subscribers until you had to hit buttons. But you're my ride. So Tom's my ride when we're done at the expo. So I gotta be nice. I'll leave you
you
out
gotta be
with my thumb.
nice.
Oh, actually, I stand out in front of the hotel with my thumb out, and it doesn't take long to catch a ride for sure, because it's
That's
just
true.
beekeep. The whole hotel's beekeepers. Whole 3, 4 hotels are all beekeepers.
Right.
All right.
I am going to hop
Yep.
off.
Yeah, we're at 3:15, 3 hours and 15 minutes. So there's another over in Hawaii watch. Kind of park. Give me an idea for the shelters. Oh. Yeah, DC's got a cool setup there where he is like shelters. Like they sit up on tables, right? DC sitting up about 3 feet, maybe. Are they up?
Mm, I don't think they're
Yeah.
that high.
Yeah, no, now that I said it, that would be too high for supers. Yeah, right. Keeping the rain off.
Yeah. And Dave, DC, I have not built my lean yet off my barn. I got too many projects.
Oh.
So they get them out of the weather, rain. All
All
right,
right,
I'm
kids,
done.
let's see. Yeah, so what's today? Wednesday. So tomorrow is horizontal hives, Ricky, and I believe, let's not forget we're talking about beekeepers now. Barker's bees out in
Parker's
Utah.
bees, yeah.
He's on Thursday, and then Charlie's on Friday. And we got Joey on Saturday, Joey Rawls. And
Yeah.
Sunday is
Tim and Hannah, gunline
Hannah,
bees.
Gunline Bees. And then Monday back around the loop to Bees All Day.
Yeah.
So we're here every night, guys. Every night.
Every day. Now I'm on now 2 nights in a row. I'm
Yeah.
done.
That's why I punked out on you last night. I was in bed. I listened and chat,
Right.
but I'm in bed, so all right, kids. We will see you next time. Same place, same bat channel, and all of that. All right.
Good night, everyone. See you,
Good night.
Nancy.
Good night.